Bit of a mess of this setup from Ultra's perspective. 180 playing 74, and the hit still has to largely come from the front.
Yeah, you still have the backspawns if you are Ultra, so no sweat off the brow. We just hit the clutch up on these next couple of fights, and they're already coming out on top in the trade. Make it 3, all 4 dead. Kleenex had himself what? 4-17 on a different map like Zero, baby. 28-13, already a cruise missile earned, and potentially a chance for another. They're gonna breach that 200-point mark, and if they find a break on this P4, it's basically GG.
It is just chess playing checkers right now. Ultra are sitting, waiting to see if FaZe are gonna get aggressive on their setup. That doesn't happen, so now here we go. Heavy-handed push around the back. It's just trying to pick FaZe apart little by little. It's just so clinical. One nade will tag, Cellium follows up with a double, so okay. Again, another moment for small breaths here for FaZe as they get their lockdown over towards tunnel.
And they have Droz being them, playing through the middle of the map, watching that cross, but he only's able to take down one. Now Ultra have the opportunity. Let's spam our nades, let's spam our stuns right through the front, blow up these trophy systems, and allow Kleenex to slide right on in. That's exactly what he's gonna do. He does fall in the crossfire, and it's still Atlanta FaZe holding on. They breach that 100-point mark, make it 3 dead, 4 dead in the feed.
Okay. Here we go. Maybe a chance. FaZe would still have to win this rotation, and Ultra already pressing the issue through warehouse side. Synth will get every second because I'll tell you, every single second's needed. Good follow-ups here from FaZe. Scrap not being traded out initially, but eventually taken down. And we're going to have a 50-50 battle for P5.
And this is big kills from Atlanta FaZe because you can apply the pressure to this new hill from the front. They were winning all those clutch gunfights at the players towards top snow, to the players towards top warehouse, but you still have to contest this hill, not give up this time to Toronto Ultra. Only 30 seconds left. You see it, BZ. He's trying to go for a route. He's trying to be the playmaker.
Need to find an opening, and you need to find it quickly. That could do it. Envoy taken care of. Draws it back over towards top office. Scrap there to meet him. Trades across the middle of the map, though. Still has FaZe at the precipice of trying to break this, but Ultra kills are coming through. And Ultra just simply say, hey, CDL desk, you think we haven't played anybody? Hurt my feelings. 245 to 128. Put him to bed. Head to the grand finals. Ultra, perfect.
We were questioning if Ultra were going to be ready for this moment. They didn't really have a lot of tough matchups in the online qualifiers. Breeze through their winners bracket side at this tournament. But when you go up against a tight, you need to show who you truly are. And they are the best hardpoint team in the game. And you're taking down Atlanta FaZe and Search and Destroy. Without question, they are the top dog to beat.
Unreal, man. It's just another series where we're going into it saying these are going to be battlegrounds.
Oh, yeah.
Flat out. Looking at the maps, looking at the teams matching up against one another. We said it versus New York a couple weeks ago, and we 100% expected it coming in. But a beat down here in map number 4, a 6-1 stomping on FaZe's best Search and Destroy map. Whew. What else do you say?
That's the biggest thing that you got to take away, Alan, is that the fact that Atlanta FaZe lose a Search and Destroy the way that they did. They're usually great at making those mid-round adjustments. But every single time they try to do that, Ultra were prepared for it. Multiple plays coming in from Envoy, multiple plays coming in from Scrap. And as you take a look at that game flow, it was not even close from start to finish. Utter dominance from Toronto Ultra to make themselves a nice little spot in the grand finals.
And the thing about it is you got to be feeling super confident no matter who you happen to play coming into the grand finals. But of course, with that, Ultra very calm, very quickly make their way into the advantage off the upper bracket over towards the best of 7 grand final. But we've got Scrap sitting on stage with Blaze to give us our final reactions.
Thank you so much, Alan. Boston, make some noise for the Toronto Ultra. They are the first team to the grand finals, and Scrap, that one looked easy. Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
All right.
Is this shit working?
There we go. There we go. Nice. Now, you guys come out 3-1. How you just feeling right off the bat? You and a squad being making it to the grand finals and taking down the 1 seed.
Yeah, you know, 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, 8 seed. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? We're coming for everyone. You know what I mean? But boys are playing nice, and we're excited to play.
All right, there you go. Now, here in this series, you know, that map number 3, you know, looked kind of staticky at the end and come away with it. But how did you guys rebuttal back and deliver that hard point the way that you did?
Yeah, you know, we know Invasion is kind of like a defensive-heavy map. I mean, they got 1 tick on A that pretty much costed us the map. You know, if we just hold defense pretty tight, that one defense, then, you know, we would win that map. But, you know, it is what it is. We know it's kind of a shit-ass map, but spawned in on hardpoint, and I'm going to come
All right, there you go. You definitely did. Now you got everyone out here in the crowd cheering for you. They've been so loud and electric. The chat's going wild. We even got the scrap pack out there. I know y'all out there somewhere. What you got to say to them that's supporting Toronto?
Yeah, no, I appreciate everyone who came from Canada. My boy Tax is always here. There's a few familiar faces, like Jamie said. A few new ones. I appreciate it. All my fans that are here, my girls here. I appreciate everyone who tuned in. And yeah, let's come win this shit.
All right, let's see if Toronto could do it. Chris, break it down with the desk.
Thank you so much, and I love the chat. Let's scrap yap. The boy.
he said he was going to do what in Hardpoint? Hold on now. Boy, it hurts.
All right, the boy from New Jersey representing Toronto well, but I feel like the COD gods have smiled upon Boston. We get Atlanta now dropping to that elimination bracket where they now have to face Optic. Toronto, they get to chill for about 90 minutes here, Allie.
I would just like to let you guys know that Chris and Ant were script writing in the pre-show saying that the ultimate situation is the rematch of Optic and FaZe in that losers finals. You be watching out for these two.
No, we're on point.
Been doing it for about 20 years now, Allie. Caught on. Let's break down this game, though, and walk me through what was the difference between Toronto and FaZe?
This is lit.
Say right now, headed into this series, we were talking about Atlanta FaZe and their hard point and what would be the difference. Well, Toronto Ultra have looked lights out in that game mode, and when Atlanta FaZe have struggled, it's when they've had to break some of these hills. It was room for concern. We saw they were number 8 in breaking, and particularly on sub-base. They haven't been playing many terminals, so sub-base has been in the map set, and they've struggled now against Optic and now against the Toronto
This is
Ultra.
pretty cool.
I don't know if it's their comms or if it's the way that they're approaching these situations, but they're letting people get through as well. Like that P3 with Envoy gets around the back. You have to group up and play for that kill. There's steps that have to be done first. Atlanta FaZe is aware of this, but in these hard points, it's just not translating to good gameplay.
I completely
Pretty
agree.
rad, bro.
FaZe's weakness in hard points, 100% in this series. But for me, I think the most important map was that map number 2, mainly because Envoy started with a point like 5 in search and destroy. What does he do in that map number 2 again? Atlanta's best search and destroy. He drops 8 and 4, 4 first bloods, 4
And we're watching the
plants on
Chief.
his head. He was doing everything, and that is what Toronto Ultra needs if they want to take home this chip.
Merc, who wins this tournament? You're not on the desk the rest of the show.
God, listen, I told you that my winners final went to Ultra, but I did in my pick'ems have FaZe coming back and winning. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Is my pick'ems? I'm not sure, but
his picks have been hot.
I might be a script writer. It might be me.
It might be Joe, actually.
I love what we've seen so far today, and if you're just joining us, welcome to the Call of Duty League. This is Championship Sunday, and there's only 2 matches remaining. The next one decides who will join Toronto Ultra in that championship match.
This went by so fast. I can't believe we're already about to head into the losers finals and then into our grands, and we get the rematch of a lifetime, Atlanta FaZe versus Optic Texas next.
Don't go anywhere. The CDL
I feel like right now, this is the time that Optic needs to show up, bro. Let's go, baby. It's fucking Optic time. It's pretty crazy how this is pretty cool, man. I have everything on right now. Okay. Oh shit, here it comes.
I'm feeling confident. Obviously we haven't performed as well as we should have online, but feeling as confident as ever. Excited to be here.
I'm excited to play on LAN, especially We didn't have like the best online results, so I'm just ready to prove ourselves on LAN.
I feel great. Happy to be here again. I want to do my best and get a win, so I'm really happy.
I'm feeling good. I think we are ready with the team. I'm really excited, like for sure it's my first LAN, so yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I feel good. First LAN in CDL, so yeah, I feel good. Play like I know how to play and just have confidence in my gameplay.
Feeling good. Feeling like one of the best subs in the game, for sure, right now.
I need to hear fucking this. Let's fucking get it, boys. Let's fucking get it. What the fuck?
I haven't planned.
Crazy with the rage, dangerous and rage. I ain't wanna take light, look into my eyes. I'm a killer inside, coming for the prize. Do you really want these problems? I put you in that coffin.
back in Beantown Live with the Call of Duty League. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Puckett alongside I Hold Shift, Alley Cat, and Nameless here at the headquarters desk, and we are gearing up for one of the oldest rivalries in esports. Optic versus FaZe, green versus red. The chat's already getting wild here, Alan.
2 days in a row? Christmas come early. Maybe it came a little late. Hard to say. I think the thing about it is this is going to be, I think, just overall, not just juicy for the storylines between the two orgs, but the first time they met yesterday, it was tight. So be interested to see how they run it back.
Allie, we are down to our final 3 teams, but the top 8 are getting paid out here in Boston. What's the update?
Yeah, more teams are leaving, but more cash is on the line. We still got $150,000 up for grabs, and not only that, a lot of points as well. Again, it is more points than we were giving away last year at the majors, which makes them that much more important when it comes down to champs.
Nameless, do you remember who got 3rd place last time we were in Boston?
Oh, tell me, Chris.
Me neither. I don't remember.
I watched a lot of Call of Duty, but it's been an epic tournament so far, and we got 3 of the teams that we thought tried to make a super team, or Pack-a-Punch, people have been calling it, fighting for their life. I know that there's a lot of money on the line, but there's also a lot of pride and revenge storylines happening right now.
Absolutely. That's what I was hitting at. It's all about getting to the finals. No one remembers 3rd, barely remembers 2nd. You got to walk home with gold in that trophy. $150,000 and the new 100 points that go with it is a big impact and a great start to a 5-event season. But Allie, let's talk about the veterans that are going to be taking the stage here. What are your expectations for the fans? How are they going to react?
I mean, they're going to be lit. Of course, it's Atlanta FaZe versus Optic Texas. You're going to hear boos on one side and the crowd roaring for the other.
Well, Nameless, we've got a lot of people making names for themselves, not only on this broadcast, but of course the Challengers broadcast that's been going on all weekend long. You had a favorite in the running tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. My boy Craze, man. You know, we watched this kid since he was a young boy playing at 8s. He's been frying me. I was like, he's either got to be cheating or he's the next scum, right? And apparently he's just a monster. You know, making an unprecedented run to nobody had lore making it to the final, but they ran into FaZe Black, who have been the Reapers online and showed that they can do it once again on land.
Yeah, I think in particular, like you mentioned, no one expected Lore to get to the grand finals in the first place, but it's also in the fashion of which they did. They were sent to the lower bracket super early, had to go through Temp, Major Maniac, other major CDL names, but as we got into Sunday, you look at FaZe Black's roster, they were built to win a championship, and they handled business this weekend.
And they were showing us some plays that you don't even see out of some pro teams, like on the Invasion, the pushing up the street, throwing down the smoke, taking American. Like, these are some high-level plays on this team, some great teamwork, and the confidence you could see was oozing off those guys, the vibes. It was just great to watch.
Alan, there's a lot of ways to make money in esports. One of them is advising general managers. Give them a freebie, though. Which player from that lobby do you think will be the first to get scooped?
Pick one, and especially on the FaZe Black side of things. I think Asim has always been good, often finding himself on some pretty poor teams. Same situation for Exceed. That's 3 straight Challengers Opens that he's won, by the way, when he's participated.
Listen, Alan, grab one of these guys. They're solid, but let's get some new blood. Let me get
bias.
Okay. All right? He's been dropped, and he made it immediately to a final. But all these guys, I mean, pick your poison.
Yeah.
Allie, do you have a favorite from
And they got
today's FaZe
dropped.
Black lineup? I know we were
Dude,
making
that's
a lot of noise
insane.
for that
Why would they get dropped?
This question earlier at the start of the day when we talked about the Challengers Open, I said maybe
Dude, they got
because he
dropped. That's
didn't
crazy.
Get too much time on the Boston main stage last year, and so for Ann's point of getting rid of some of the veterans, bringing some
I
new
mean,
blood,
I don't know. Sim was. I mean, I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, I was gonna say Sim is pretty bad.
Back to the big show. We've got our top
But if they, I mean, if they won, they won. You know.
It's Optic taking on FaZe.
But I don't remember Sim being like
Optic right now came in with
a really, really good.
seed overall, right? But since then, they ran through that winner's bracket until they got to the game 5 against FaZe.
And the thing is, their hard point looks night and day different, man. And it's everywhere. It's not just that they're getting the map picks that you would expect. They showcased it on Subbase yesterday. It just doesn't feel like they are worried about going to any particular location. The Search and Destroy has been a little faulty for them here and there, but hey, they're still cleaning up. And I think that's the bigger news is coming off of a very confident win versus Minnesota, they look primed and ready to
fight
here against FaZe.
This is good. This is good. I'm pretty happy.
already in this game, just in this qualifier and the major alone. So
Optic,
and they're coming off a Search and Destroy win. So when it comes to Optic Texas, if they keep playing hardpoint, point, like they played earlier, aka Dashy becoming a Hillkin, I think they have a really good chance in this series.
Now, Nameless, they've played Atlanta twice.
Optic, baby.
Atlanta has
Optic all
beaten
day.
Optic twice. What's going on for our Red Squad?
I mean, I think the big thing is the search and destroys, right? Like, they got 10 first bloods across those 2 S&Ds that they had in the last series. Not converting those into round wins. I mean, a lot of the times, think back to that Game 5 high-rise. Like, they were making plays. Shotzzy was getting behind them. We saw Pred making plays. But the rest of the team is not taking ground off of those plays, not converting it into wins. And what we just saw in the last series, Toronto did, they were getting the bomb down on that invasion. That's how you beat Atlanta FaZe. As when rounds develop against this team, that is when you lose. You have to make your plays as a team early on. So that's what I'm expecting Optic to do. Capitalize on those first bloods, play together, take space, get it down, play the trade game. It's simple.
Shout out to Monster for keeping us energized here on the desk. Alley Cat, give me the Monster Energy pregame for FaZe.
I mean, their hard point wasn't very clean that last series. If anything, they were really getting outslayed, to be honest. Like, I saw them early rotating, but they were getting broken instantly by Toronto Ultra. So hopefully they got one from that last series and shake off the S&D. They're still 11-2. They were 11-1 on like an 8-win spree. So for the Atlanta FaZe, I don't expect to see another search and destroy like that one.
I just got to say, for Atlanta FaZe, the breaking hard point, once again, I'm going to reiterate this point, keeps falling and falling. It was 8th coming into this tournament. Now 19% of the time they're breaking. And when they do, Chris, they're only getting 11 points off of their break. So things are going dramatically wrong.
All right, let's see how many maps we are going to here in a potential best of 5. I think I've got at least 4 games in my crystal ball. But who takes it, that's still up for debate.
Chat rate, baby. We got no chat rate, but it's okay.
We close it out.
I'm just happy to be here.
Back-to-back invasions.
Yeah, Terminal for Optic has to feel like blessings upon you in the green wall. They're so good on the map, and like Ant said, with the rotation stats for FaZe, Optic have to be feeling really pretty about this first map.
I really want to take Optic, but I had FaZe in my bracket at the start of the day. Let's go to you, Alan.
Yeah, I think there's 2 different tales of confidence right now. I've got Optic at 4.
I think the crowd is confused with me, thinking I'm trying to curse Optic. No, I've been truthfully picking them this whole time, and I'm going to go with them in this series.
Going with Optic, all right.
I also have Optic in this series. I think they bounced back, learned their lesson from that series against FaZe.
Put a green heart or a red heart in the chat right now, because your elimination final begins as we send it over with Guy Blaze.
All right, Boston, I am excited as it's time for another El Clasico here in esports as it's Optic versus FaZe. Boston, are you ready to get the stage lit? Coming out first, Green Wall unite, because here come your heroes, Optic Texas. Give it up for Kenny.
The Kenny, the Shotzzy, the Pretty, the Dashy's back, baby. Green wall, baby. Green fucking wall. All day, every day.
Kenny to be the captain and bring some leadership to this squad, and it has worked in the respawns. The hard points have been unbelievable. Dashy's been soaking in Hilltime, and Pred has been lighting it up. They smoked them last time at HP. This time they have to win Search and Destroy.
Let's get it, baby.
All right. Here come those boys from the South on the revenge tour in full form. Get ready, Boston. It's Atlanta FaZe. Here comes Draza, Sim, Abizi, and Salium. Atlanta FaZe, ready to lock it in.
They got fed their own medicine, now looking to dish it back out in a matchup that they have the advantage in so far, at least this season. Atlanta FaZe looking to turn this green wall red. Blaze, it's time to get the losers final started.
All right, I cannot be more excited for this. 2 matches left today, Boston. Let's make sure everyone wished they were here. Are you ready? Merc, Maven, let's get it started.
Thank you, Blaze.
Mid crowd right now, bro. They should be going off.
Listen, you know, you said this to me when you were rooting for your Browns in the playoffs. Like, I hate that we just beat the Texans. Like, you just beat a team. How tough it can be to do it a little bit later. You feeling that for FaZe a little bit here? You got to win. You got to play them a couple days later.
Oh, I feel for them because they just got slammed, right?
Is that the bigger part you're worried about?
Yeah, I mean, it's just their hard point. They are 0-4 in their last 2 matches against these 2 teams. Similar to the narrative with Optic in their Search and Destroy, it's the same storyline here. You cannot win a tournament with your hard point looking the way it has versus these two teams.
Well, what's
This is the
interesting
time right now.
is times in the past with this Atlanta FaZe team, you know, online matches, they were around 50-50 in hardpoint. They could never figure it out. They got to LAN, and for some majors, it really clicked for them. It really did. Here, it's been kind of the opposite. I mean, you were getting the wins online, but they were always like, what, 15, 20-point games that they were squeaking by. That ain't happening anymore.
Yeah, but we saw the map vetoes. It's a little bit different. We're going to play a little terminal hardpoint. Sub-base gets vetoed by FaZe, obviously. But you will be starting on that stronger side if you are FaZe.
They just got slammed. Yeah, let's get that one.
Yeah, switch it up.
Optic gonna win hardpoint, I feel like.
It's time for the elimination finals.
If they hit
Atlanta
50
FaZe,
first, they win.
Texas, the rematch this weekend in Boston, and we get ready to rock and roar. It's the crowd roaring early.
Let's go! Chauncey, let's go!
And I think if you are Optic, come out quickly and make a statement, right? FaZe is already down. They just lost the match.
Let's go!
On this stage. Now is the opportunity to run away with some momentum.
And I think it's important, too, because at times Optic Texas has come out slow. They've started slow in online series. They started a little bit slow in that map one against Rocker. Right now, take advantage. Do not do that. Come out, slam them. FaZe are down, keep them down.
Yeah, right there. They had a chance. Pred. Unfortunately for him, those spawns in the back just so, well, it's very difficult to move them out. And
very sticky, Joe.
Yeah, they are. So those spawns still going to go their way. But, I mean, if you're Optic, you're going to take 40 seconds here at P1. This is beautifully done. And this is when you need big draws, right? You added him to the roster. It felt like you needed someone who, when they were down, could really bring a punch to this squad. Throw it around as Draws with 3 in the feed to slow down for Atlanta FaZe.
Yeah, but that punch hasn't been there at times. It really hasn't. He hasn't had the impact you maybe expect him to. And it can be difficult when you're playing alongside this trio. Cellium's double, triple positive at times. But there are moments where they need big draws to be big draws. And speaking of Cellium, he's lighting up in the feed. Headshot through for him in Simp. Lead change looming in the wind as the read is there for the security side spawn. They'll just keep him at bay. Focus to fight forward towards plane. One spawning out as well for Atlanta FaZe. A one-on-one over by security.
Yeah, that was a BZ. A BZ, he actually hits plane side, so that spawn spread out. Cell's going to read one, but Kenny towards the front desk. So you do have the lead change, but with 15 seconds left, FaZe, they are going to take this spawn flip set up here and plane.
You flip him out. Security side now for Optic Texas. Plane the setup. You'll see Trophy there. Simp lying in wait. Double Trophy with the coverage now as Simp tries to hit the stun, maybe to back them up. New hard points going to pop. Now they get ready to rip and roar. Just waiting. Here is Simp. How many is he able to get? Just one, and the trade is there instantly. Now selling him into the fray. You've got 2 set up to hold.
Yeah, and Abizi just giving comms about how many are crossing with a crossfire. Able to find 1, but the number's here right now for the green wall, but it's Cellium Simp.
Damn.
Able to take down 3. So back in the lead is Atlanta FaZe. Now you start to watch those arrows off spawn. It's a race over to Burger. Draws is able to find the first. It's going to be a 2-on-2 on that side of the map. Abizi with 1, and you're just trying to flip this if you can, or at least get in this position. But now Draws is going to need some help for his teammates.
Yeah, they'll leave Cellium in the point. He'll continue to farm. Now the fight's on the other side of it. You win that one if you're Pred. The trade is there near instantly if you are Abizi. But now you've got 3 watching that cut. Right at the gut if you're Optic Texas, and just really Abizi here. They'll push him out. Pred will keep it going. 4 in a row now for Pred. It's the final 5 seconds are here. Now, these are the times where the kills are really going to start to count. And Simp's able to get 2. Spawning them out, you've got numbers here, but not really for long because they're going to get eyes on the cross.
Yeah, you heard all the nades going off. The trophy's protecting Dashy 4 now. Simp, though, he's on 3 in a row, up to 12 and 6. We saw him last time these 2 teams played against each other. He was going off. Cell 9 and 3. Some beautiful shots from Kenny, but there we go. Cellium 11 and 3, trying to work the security spawns. They don't flip, but you get your teammates to the hill.
And Simp there is terrific. He's on 5 in a row. He is 14 and 6. Look at the rest of the lobby right now. I thought Cellium was frying. Simp is getting it done, and he gets so many crucial kills to then get across and get into the hard point. What can Simp do from here? He is still popping off. Cruz has now earned 6 in a row. Looking for Pred. Head is gone. Give him number 7. What a stretch here from Simp. Is Dashy back down and drop? My guy is putting on a clinic on terminal. Unbelievable stuff.
Now, on the other side of the map, you still have Abizi, but you're only down 65 if you are Optic Texas, right? You still have security spawns.
Absolutely.
You are not in a bad position at all, but you have to take advantage of this. You have them all spawn in Estes. It is 4 dead here at Bookstore for Atlanta FaZe. Here comes the first push, and Pred, who has been fantastic for this team. He's on 4 in a row.
There we go. Pred that has been big for them. When they need clutch kills, how crucial has he been? But all right, in the early going, as we're about to wrap up this set of rotations, for Atlanta FaZe, if you were a little worried about maybe
This is their time to shine right now.
you feel pretty good so far.
Yeah, you feel pretty good, but yeah, 100%, right? Some of your individuals are stepping up in Simp
I
and
was worried they
Cellium.
were going to get smoked like map one. Just get based on how the last one went.
Yeah, I mean, in this roster, they have been in all of these scenarios before. All four of these players, not something they aren't used to. But Optic, down now 25 points. Let's go to a listen in with Optic Texas.
Yeah, they could. I'm pretty sure all the second line. I'm coming to contest. I'm going to contest. I'll nade. He's in there. Left side point. Left side point. Let's do that. They're challenging you. Just hold that, Brennan.
Let's go! Let's go!
I have to cruise. I'm laying down behind the planet. Yeah, I'm on shot. Pretty much it. Draw to the left side. Kill the round of spawn. Still player. I'm holding the shot as well. Anytime. Everyone, behind the pillar, MC, one shot, MC behind the pillar, one bullet. Draws MC behind the pillar. MC behind the pillar. Deep right player. One more, let's go. MC deep left. MC deep left.
Good try. Dude, you got Shotzi. Come on, Shotzi.
We got a tight one. It's a 30-point game. You got to hear the comms there from Optic Texas. Now let's go right into a listen and hear the difference here for Atlanta FaZe.
Zach, try and get 6 hills. I'm going to
No, back right, chilling out. And then one's front hill. Front. Nice, do that. Time, Kenny. Nice, Kenny, long time.
Damn, good. Good break right there, bro. Good break.
I'll see him.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, I'm just holding my punch.
Stairs.
He's gonna be all late.
Zach.
Nice. I have pinch. Really for Brandon. He's staying down time.
Yeah, he's
really smart front. I think Chris staying down time.
Hold me. He's still front hall.
I have the push.
We get back to it. 2-10 on the board now for FaZe. It was a stretch there of 8 in a row for Cellium. Abizi getting doubles as he's 4 in a row inside a plane. And this is maybe the best you've looked now, Joe, if you're Atlanta FaZe at a hard point.
No, it absolutely is. A great listen in there from Atlanta FaZe. They were flipping the spawns, getting plane control. They did it last time through. Now they can win here. So Opti had to put some pressure on and go for a contest. That's exactly what will happen. But now a foot race over towards Burger. For Optic, Kenny struggled a little bit, but he's watching this cross right now, able to win that big gunfight. You're not out of this yet, but it'd be very difficult to win this one if you're Optic.
And if you're Optic Texas, like, yeah, you've got a shot here. I think we're Atlanta FaZe, their clutch winning percentage like 100%, right? Within 30 points, we know how good they were. That's not been true this weekend. They've lost those close games, so do not count Optic
This
Texas
is it right here.
out of it yet. If they come roaring back into this one, FaZe are going to be feeling the pressure. But now one of those streaks going to be injected into this. We'll see as Cellium looks to get the cruise missile into the map. Trophy there for coverage.
Yeah, you'll at least deal with the trophies, and now Simp's gonna find 2, 3 dead, make it all 4. There is the flip as well. So behind the cruise, they get the info, they're able to get the break. This is the teamwork we've been wanting to see from Atlanta FaZe in Hardpoint. It's just taking Terminal Hardpoint to get us there.
Simp twice from that spot has been unbelievable. To just get the kills and get them in a flurry enough to get them across. Now just 5 more points needed. Big draws, living up to the name. Able to line them up in FaZe. Get the much needed hardpoint victory here in map 1.
Ah.
Great composure out of Atlanta FaZe. You get bopped off the stage by Toronto Ultra. Hardpoint has been hideous, but you veto the maps that you have been struggling on. You get to a Terminal Hardpoint. And honestly, yeah, just some of their breaks that they had, some of the plays from Simp and Celium, some of the best we have seen from them throughout the weekend. Both of them near 5,000 damage, now up 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, you had some of the early rotates. If you were Optic Texas, you were in a position in Burger to maybe win this game. Simp, Cell with multi-kills, they're just able to get across and punish you. But as much as I asked you sort of about the overall series thing and how difficult it can be to beat a team so many times in a row, that can apply to a mode too. Like you're Texas, you win a couple of hard points. It's like FaZe are going to get theirs eventually. They've been a solid hardpoint team. I know they've had their struggles, but they have a wide map pool. They can beat you at any moment.
No, and really what I liked about Atlanta FaZe and what they did on this map is, you know, what we see from a lot of teams, especially around P2 to P3, is they play for all that dream time and they say, you know what, let's just keep security side. We'll hold Burger. They played around the plane flip both times, and it paid off. We do not see every single team kind of play for that. So they gave up that scrap time. You saw BZ a couple of times working the pinches, flipping those spawns for Optic, and that gave them that P3.
Was there anything you really heard? I know the audio for us can be a little quiet at times, but through the two listen-ins, anything you really heard that stood out between the two teams? Any big differences?
I mean, I don't think so, right? I think for the Optic side, it's always great comms. You heard Pred kind of get fired up. You know, Challen, Brandon, right? Just that energy that we have seen from Pred on the stage. And then for FaZe,
you got to gas up the homies, too.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's rule number one, 100%. But no, I think both these teams, they are fired up, and you heard it in the listen-ins.
Well, I think anytime you've got this matchup, you know the pressure is there. It's a championship Sunday. You know how many are watching at home. Typically when this is the matchup, a little bit more sauce goes into this one for sure. And these guys come out just titans of this league, throwing blow back and forth. But where Optic has been so good in the ones you and I have casted, where like that midway point comes, the second set of rotations, they really turn it on, they get the advantage. It was just FaZe in this one. It was. They got the better of them in that second.
Well, I thought they were doing it because at P5, they got a full 60, right? When we look right here, P5, they were down 65. They get a full 60. They get back into the game. But the difference maker is the P2. We were in the listen-in. That's when FaZe got that break. They give themselves sort of that 50-point lead, and they cruise until the end game.
For me, just Simp with the picks for P2 both times.
Yeah.
They were just unbelievable to get them across. I mean, it's a team effort. He's got teammates dying in front of him. Maybe he's baiting at times, but he got so many kills from that position to get across.
Yeah, he's 29-18. Cell had 3 minutes on the hill, 24-11. Those guys putting up their numbers. But now you're going to a map where these teams very familiar with each other's game, right? This Invasion, Search and Destroy, they've played each other on it. Invasion Control, they've been seeing it more and more throughout this tournament. And then, yeah, that Invasion Hardpoint we saw just in a series last week if we get there.
Yeah, we're heading to Invasion. Will we get out of it? I don't know. It's the next three up the bat for this matchup. Now we think about, obviously, Atlanta FaZe have been the superior Search and Destroy team in this matchup, but, you're coming off a loss where Ultra made you look very pedestrian. On the other side of it, if you're Optic, you have probably one of your better-looking Search and Destroys you've had so far. So, on one side, some positives, the other, some negatives, but if you just look at the body of work you've had so far this year, it's hard not to favor FaZe in a map 2.
No, 100%, yeah, especially on this Invasion Search. But, yeah, unfortunately for Optic, that one map win was on Karachi Search, which I'm not going to be able to see right now. But
maybe we'll get there.
Again, there's been so many reps now. We know how FaZe likes to play this. And last time through, when they did play it online last week, the key was on attack. They were able to find Shotzzy time and time again inside of Broken. On that beat street, we'll see if he can make plays this time through.
It's like against other teams, I swear, like he'll get loose. He'll just create chaos. He'll find those spots, find those kills, but like against this team, those openings were not coming. The read was always there. I swear, I felt like they were all four calling out Shotzzy at times. He could just never, ever get loose.
Fancy the league leader, number one in the season is Celium.
Yeah, he's familiar with that role.
I mean, this is a fantastic play call already. There is nobody B street, nobody at B. Shotzzy can plant if you want, but Simp able to creep on through towards Red, playing on an island. But now Drazah gonna switch positions, and with that spot, everyone is trying to find Simp and where he goes. You see Kenny and Shotzzy just like, is he ever gonna come back to B street? No? All right.
Ooh, you're just waiting here for your draws. the damage gets in. They're able to pick up Simp as well as Kenny does get that kill. Kenny trying to track back, and Draza just can't quite connect. But ultimately, aBeZy will get one. They'll put the favor back into the hands of Atlanta FaZe. Dashy can't get out either. aBeZy gets ripped down to 50% HP, but he gets back up. Now it's down to Kenny, and he gets tagged down to half health from aBeZy deep by Palace.
Yeah, I mean, Dashy was just sort of A-Street the entire time, tried to help his teammates out towards B-Dom, but that is going to do it in round one. And it just starts with Simp. I mean, Shotzzy doesn't know it. Obviously, we do, but the bomb site was literally wide open. He gets to the tank, he's just kind of looking around, but Simp was inside of DBD. He's able to find the first blood, and that just kind of stalls the push there for Optic.
Well, I know in general, listen, they can't see what we do, but you've been saying kind of in the green room at times, like, man, if I was there, I'd be smoking and planting bomb because it's just open sometimes to hit. It feels like not as many people as maybe back in the day in Search would just take the gamble to get an early plant. I think there were so many more fast plants. Like back, you know, we're talking about the Ghost, back to Black Ops 2, just getting it down quick, put the pressure on the defense.
Yeah, a little bit. It's difficult to do with all these crosses.
It is, yes, it is.
Some of these positions, but yeah, I mean, every now and then
you've always been a guy. You've always been a guy who's like, plant the bomb.
Yeah, just plant it. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, it gets a little trickier to plant it when your bomb carrier dies off the rip. As Pred gets the kill, Pred taking over now as he takes out the Tiny Tears here in round two. Pred working on the ace now is Cellium, also ripped out of it. Draza, last guy up. He's recouped. Bomb, work to do. Good luck with that fight. Dashy's deep in the tank, and that is a clean one. It starts with Pred. It basically ends with Pred.
Yeah, no, he finds three just around that B-Dom area, picking them apart. See, has been shooting very straight, and then I don't know the numbers on it, but that gunfight right there is not a very successful one, probably.
When you're in the open and fighting the tank heady, yeah. No. 1.7% victory, Joe.
I would be surprised if it was that.
No, because yeah, even when you're hitting your shots there, it's like wall banks too. Like you gotta hit so many bullets. Clean heady seems impossible. Pred will take 3 in a row into this round. Back to offense, go Optic. Shotzzy will be your bomb carrier as the utility. Exhausted down this B street.
Watch those white arrows, right? You see number 8, number 6. When are they gonna go? Are they gonna work the flank or just kind of stack over towards A? Because Simp is on an island. Could be one of the best though. Now has the help of Draws. Here comes a push onto Simp. He was so good in map 1, able to find the first blood, but a nice trade there for Optic. Bomb going down. And just what we talked about, that first push, get to the bomb planet.
Yes, and that's just a great job making sure Simp only gets one, because he's done such a good job getting multi-kills from that position. You shut him down, you get it planted quickly, as you said. Now to the 3 versus 3 we go. Put the pressure on FaZe to now retake. We'll see if they can do it.
If you're Shotzzy, you're hoping someone goes through back ice stream, but that might not happen. It looks like they're retaking a push from tank side, so he's going to try to make a play, and Cellium's able to catch him. So he gets active, and there is the retake from Draza, Cell, and aBeZy. They each find one. I don't know how Cellium reads that push through by Shotzzy. He was patient for it, and that just starts everything that they need.
Yeah, I don't know how Cell does half the stuff he does, but he makes it work. Wins that one-on-one, and that is the big one, because then you sort of have a 2-on-1 for at least for a moment on the other side of it before the final trade comes through.
And those are just the plays we were talking about from Shotzzy, right? He likes to get creative, find those timings, those openings, and that's a gamble. If he wins the gunfight, the round's probably done. Instead, he loses it.
And I think against many teams, that's going to work, but against this, it's where it has struggled, because one of the harder players to kill in a 1 versus 1, it is so. 2-1 advantage now, back to FaZe, 3-1 for Cell. Optic Texas now look to answer. It was Pred that took over defensively last time, takes out your bomb carrier and Simp early, dominates that round, can't get quite the early.
All right.
Oh my God, oh my God.
We have the 3-on-2. It's on Dashy and Pred to try and hold. Dashy trying to get the gunfight win from deep. Now we'll work the plant if you're FaZe.
This might come down to what timing Pred gets. Is able to get him off the bomb. 12 seconds, they're going to have to go. And here comes aBeZy. He's dead. Okay. All the plays in the world. The pre-fire from Cellium. It's a 1v1, 3 seconds. Cellium versus Pred. Pred is running like a kangaroo. And he's going to win it here in map number 2.
Pred now goes to defensive rounds, taking over. Straps on the Pumas Lewis, and he gets out of there. What a round. Cellium nearly with a nutty one with the pre-fire through that mid-gap, but Pred gets out, and I was stressed. Heart was beaten.
Woo! It has been all Pred here. 5 non-traded kills, all coming through the defense.
Fred's like,
He has
"Don't worry,
tied this
guys.
up.
I got this, guys. He's come. Your guys' heart's beating. I'm good.
Mine's going too.
That was a fun one. 2-2.
We need this win. We need this win.
Pred continued to do this on defense. He's got 5 kills, and they're all on the defense. They're really relying on him right now. We'll see how long he can keep it going, but now can they find some success offensively? Is it's just been a defensive affair so far for either team?
Yeah, this is when these adjustments are going to start coming in. Kind of where do we want to go? Try to find any creativity, but Abizi almost gives them a timing, but he's got Simp watching his back. Well, kind of watching. At least has the trade as we have a 3-on-3. Simp, gets pegged by a grenade, and now he's going to try to play his life, and he wins a gunfight on top of it. How is he still alive? But there is a trade.
He had, 30 or so health, and just knowing he has that bit of cover to Chow, knowing he has the rival to just sort of nuke him out of this. But as you said, the trade comes in there. So the 2v2 we go, and that's the rival on the other side. Shotzzy with a little bit of pizzazz, able to take it. Draws gets dropped. Back-to-back rounds, and now an offensive win on the board for one of these teams. Optic take the edge.
It's nicely done in that 2v2, kind of taking their time. You had the repositioning, but Shotzzy able to read it, and then as you said, the snap. And Dashy's like, Draza might start working up this B Street. So far, those skirmishes going the way of Optic.
And how big this would be for this best of 5 for their chances if they were to make a finals round. Like if this search and destroy, if you could just suddenly bring it together on a championship Sunday. How good it could be. You got the edge. Now can you get the snowball going if you're Optic? Pred has been electric on defense. So keep it on that number 3 on the map as we get deeper into this. But for now, the pressure building over towards Dashy. Him and Cellium, it's like a little mini game in itself on this side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, such respect between these two players. I mean, they grew up winning so many S&D tournaments together. There's going to be that shoulder, that info, the gunfight going down, and this time Cell able to win it.
That's a fun one-on-one to watch. It really, really is.
Now bomb going down. Now working the pinch. It will be Shotzzy versus Draza from the top rope.
Draza wins it. Simp tags one on. The second one nearly dead, but Pred able to get away. And, well, it's a defensive round. It is Pred, so don't count him out. But not a lot of time and a lot of work to do. 3 more players he's got to take out of it. Wins another one-on-one. Pred's making it interesting.
Yeah, still 20 seconds to go, but Draza is going to say hello or run away with his life for now. And this could just come down to the clock. But I'll tell you what, the guy's winning his ones.
No,
he is on point.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Don't count him out, but like he just need a little more time. Like if maybe he gets another kill, it's a 1v2 post plant or something like that. But he had 30 seconds, basically 4 people to kill. Can't quite do it, but I think you said it right. He's shooting.
Yeah, FaZe able to respond. And, you know, Dashy, we haven't seen that angle too often, a bit of an off angle. He's just probably hoping to find one. Maybe someone creeps on up and then get out with his life, but Cell with the shoulder.
The shoulder, the 40 shoulders that got there? Yeah, like he literally like got a millimeter more of space each time he shouldered to try and get that angle. And finally, a bunny hop battle, and he wins the fight. But dear Lord, he was using his shoulders to dance and lift for him, that's for sure. 3-3. Has this been one hell of a search and destroy here in map 2?
Well, it really has. Both teams winning offenses now in back-to-back rounds. Is Simp, it's his turn to get aggressive.
Does it feel like one of those where it's like, who's going to screw up first?
Yeah, when it's between teams like this, that is usually the play. Abizi, he's able to get away. He finds
HP.
the first blood, and now he's got his teammates looking over him.
Wow. Just able to get out. Abizi still loose. Going low, going high, back up, and can he take it out of it? Is Abizi. It's his round this time through. 4 versus 2 now for FaZe. Chance to go up 4-3 is you had back-to-back rounds for Optic. Chance now to do it if you are FaZe, but Dashy does bring him a little bit closer. The trade doesn't come through, so an opening now for Optic Texas.
Okay.
And now if you're FaZe, you're waiting on number 7. You're waiting on Simp potentially to make you play. He's going to have a one-on-one versus Dashy in the spawn. And that is going to go to Simp with the rival. So Pred, 1 versus 3. He absolutely can win these, but Simp is going to cut him down.
Yeah, if Simp has an MCW, I mean, you get a gunfight there. If you're Dashy, instead it's not much of a gunfight. Rival just buries him. Tons of time for the defuse. Great round there from Simp, and well, really a BZ early.
Yeah, I mean, he finds the first blood, gets away with his life, and then repositions. And we saw that second kill on a Kenny. I think he just gets a lot of help because he was one bullet.
Yeah.
Cell watching over him.
I didn't see who ripped him. Was a Cell. Yeah, he was 1, maybe 2 bullet. He killed him real quick. 4-3 now FaZe. Selim and Dashy, the hard carries right now from a damage standpoint. Yeah, 1,700 up for Cell, 1,800 for Dashy. They have been putting in damage for their teammates. Drossada will open up with a nade. Kenny's struggles continue. The 2 in 7. There's the rival up close and personal. Shotzzy, Kenny, they cannot get anything going, and that was your worry in this one. That's okay. That round, did that start?
Are you fucking kidding me, bro? God damn, dude. Fucking Optic, dog.
Trying to find kills out of that one player, even if he does, because he's the only trophy player
Come on, bro.
the site. Maybe that just goes away, and then the nades just pile on in.
You got to rip off 3 straight now if you're Optic Texas. Brush that one off. Easy to forget with how fast it was. But what changes can you make if you're Texas? It just feels like you got to get Shotzzy and Kenny involved in some way. They just have not been able to get going in the early going, late going.
Yeah, I mean, even in map 1, right, like Ken obviously struggled, but his damage was there, right? Obviously on a map like Terminal, it just feels like at times you get beat in the blender. But want to see him step up here in this map number 2. He's got a chance with this first blood fight, but aBeZy just going to back on down.
Simp, a first blood. You have now 7 first bloods if you are Atlanta FaZe through 9 rounds. It is going to be tough to find a win if you're Optic Texas, and that's the stat line. Simp follows it up with another 4 versus 2. Final round, waiting in the wings right now is another drops. It's Kenny gets a kill. A trade should be there. I was about to say it should eventually be there. FaZe get the victory, 6-3. You battled them a bit tougher, I think, if you're Optic Texas this time through, but the result's the same.
I think this was honestly, it was 2-2 and then just dominated by FaZe in their adjustments. I mean, even in that last round, I love that play from Simp. He has been roaming around B Dom, roaming around B Street. Where is he? aBeZy goes back to A, sets up just like they did in the previous defensive round to find the first blood A round, towards the A bomb. Kenny's B Dom, he gets that, and they're like, we got to get aBeZy off of it. But who's in the back door? It's Simp in that position with the rival, able to find 2. So just him with his S&D knowledge, taking it to another level. Again, just a bounce back.
3-8, 3-7.
Yeah, it just feels like he's, doing what Shotzzy wants to do, just far more effectively on that particular map. Like, just being a thorn in their side. Where is he going to be on the map? Can't isolate him, can't slow him down. Gets the double digits there as he goes 10-6. And as it stands, you've got a 2-0 edge if you are Atlanta FaZe. If you're going to bring this back now, if you're Optic, it starts on invasion control, continues through invasion on hardpoint. Maybe you push it to a map 5 where if there's been a better looking search, it's at Karachi. You can get there.
No, 100%. And again, I mean, we saw this earlier where Optic's offense has been so good. Weren't able to find that second round, though, versus Minnesota. I'm sure they're going to work on it.
Oh, here we go. FaZe have got Optic up against the wall. Can Optic battle back? You got to pull off the reverse sweep. They are no strangers with the ability to do so. To break we go. When we come back, the Optic regame starts.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
Tune in throughout Major 1 this weekend to earn awesome in-game content. You can rock the Frostbite Blueprint, charms, emblems, calling card, and get XP tokens. Be sure to link your account now to start earning.
Now starts the Optic Gaming redemption. Can they bring it back? It starts with a map 3 on invasion control. If they're going to pull off this reverse sweep, because so far, struggling. FaZe up 2-0.
I mean, yeah, again, props to FaZe. That's coming off that hot loss versus Toronto Ultra. In that winner's final, you're right back on the stage in this rematch for a chance to see who's going to be playing Toronto for our Major 1 title. But yeah, I mean, they've had a couple of reverse sweeps. We've seen them in the past online kind of start slow. But this is the map that, you know, we just watched FaZe beat Ultra on it. And who was insane? It was Cellium. Had 10 spree in that round number 5.
Yeah, it was unreal.
It out.
We take a look at the Monster Energy pregame here for Optic. Joe, the control.
Yeah, I mean, finish these controls, right? 6-5 in control. We just saw it earlier today. I mean, their attack has been fantastic. They're averaging around 5 ticks a round, but they have to turn it into offensive round wins, as we saw it earlier versus Rocker. And win the second one, then it goes to a round 5 and they lose. So it just feels like they're able to finish this. They can be a dominant control team.
Good stuff there early from Fred and Shotzzy. Draza waiting on the boys to get back into it. Not going to happen as Dashy will cut him down from behind. It's been all Optic Texas so far. First 4 kills through for them. Finally, an A connects for Abizi. Can he at least get on the board now? Dashy can't quite take down the second one. That's going to open up for Cellium to go over to the opposite side. Doesn't quite have trophy ready, so going to be tricky early. And yep, that is why I mentioned it, because stunned instantly and dropped.
Yeah, but he at least forces 3 players to try to rotate over towards A. That opens up the B zone for his team to find some position. Draza going to push up towards his P4 area. This back dumpster, try to find any players rotating through for Optic. But only 1 player on it, no trophies down, so nade stuns can connect.
So how much does, like, you know, those couple reverse sweeps, you know, when you start slow, you're able to bring it back. I mean, how much does that matter? The fact that you have a little bit of experience and reps with this new team that's Optic.
Oh, I think a lot, right? I mean, again, Ken has not been playing well. Shotzzy in that map too. I think Fred and Dashy have been fantastic. It's just the other two you have to get going to find some success.
Feels like everyone's gotten going early as you have the 4 life advantage. You've already gotten this down to 25 seconds, but you've got trophy coverage, multiple now covering you on the point. You're starting to work this forward, second bit of progress. That will be done. Go to Cellium's POV. As you said, he was terrific just a short time ago on this map and mode. Looking to pounce with his teammates. Got the tiny tears looking over him. That'll be the clearance. That'll be the extra minute added on. But you only have a minute 20 to work with, and you're down in lives.
That's a nice kills there from Kenny and Shotzzy, because I mean, you had a transition opportunity there with 2 dead. Take that 4-on-2 mid-map push, get right onto A, but they find those off a spawn. Beezy, a nice start here. He's just waiting for his teammates, but yeah, 1 minute remaining. Not a lot of time for FaZe to work with.
Well, let's see if they can at least make it interesting. Can they get across and apply any pressure to A? As you still got Kenny just kind of lying in wait from the point. Just looking for an opening pick, clearing everything as you go. But Fred, waiting and looming, at least staggers it for a moment. He'll be able to spot up close, but BC then follows it up with a second. Is that going to be the domino that you need? Kenny at least able to bring it even. Kenny with the chow, draws a 25 HP, draws a trying to get out, can't quite do it. So good stuff efficiently trading right now. If you're Optic Texas, 30 to go.
And that's just buying time. Is Shotzzy with the headshots up to 8 and 4. Buying time for his teammates to come off a spawn. You have those close spawns. One last push here for Atlanta FaZe. Sim going to be the front man. Does get spotted by Ken. He's going to back down, and now 2 dead. An opportunity here. Shotzzy all the way up A Street. You're going to have a one-on-one on that side. Dashy, the last man standing on the point. He's able to find one. The nades are coming in. BC's got to dodge that, but does not. Simp was trying to help him out. Instead, takes him down. Shotzzy rotates back. Round 1 Optic.
You might have been screwed either way, but yeah, the teammate doesn't end up helping. And Optic Texas, really, you kind of prevented from getting any moments that are too scary, except the very, very end there to deal with it pretty effectively. So nice start for Optic, and yeah, the guns seemed hot early. I mean, they were rolling, they were winning the fights, they were milking so much time, making it even more difficult for FaZe that opening round.
Yeah, and that's the advantage, obviously, of having defense in round 1. There's no trophies. You can't really pause the clock on B like we normally see, so you have to dodge an 8s, right? You had to get off that point.
I mean, you only saw briefly from like Cell's POV, but like When he got to A, well, sometimes one person a day with a trophy. I mean, we saw accuracy get like 5 or 6 kills from that position earlier. Like, depending on how they're staggered,
That's actually
you can
a
go
pretty
nuts,
good
but
commercial.
You get stunned once, it's over.
Yeah, I think key there. They only give up 3 ticks, so keep our eyes on that.
Yep.
For round 5 defense if it comes to it, but Optic, they
Let's
were
go,
so
bro.
good versus Rocker on attack. Through some of those rounds, we'll see what they can do here.
Shotzzy on 4 in a row. At 10-4, trying to play it aggressively here. They're all kind of funneling right through. He's obviously going to have kind of a natural fight that's going to develop here once he opts to track back. We'll see how they deal with that. Pred able to win it on one side. Shotzzy looking for vision on the other, but everyone just sort of pushed through towards the point. He's going to track the whole way back to get involved, yeah.
Can I just ignore him? He is on 5 in a row, looking for number 6 in the Cruise. Not able to win it. It's a Beezy.
You just gotta wait, bro.
Here that's really getting going. Look at that scoreboard. He's at 14. And we haven't shown a Beezy a ton of love, right? Maybe not the meta for him, not a really SMG-oriented game, but step it up here with that MCW. Double positive, leading the way for FaZe.
Nice shots there from Dashy. Hit down to 11, but he wins that fight. But yeah, they do a good job. They're like, all right. Probably comments, shots, he's probably pushed up. They'll lose him somewhere. They're like, let's just push on through. They take him out of the play for 45 seconds.
Now you get this very close spawn from Dashy. So you're going to have 3 players near A. He spawned like a bomb site there. So you're going to have a great push over towards A for Optic.
Yeah, that spawn doesn't usually come in all that often. We're basically spawning on A. They get there so quickly. Onto the post they go. Simp now trying to push through. Kenny getting big kills. You've gotten the second bit of progress. Starting to push it forward, trying to get A. You might be able to get it here, and that was an odd one. A is now done. 1 tick needed at B.
And now if you are FaZe, pressure is on. You don't want to go down an 0-2 hole. They're
Let's
gonna
go.
have to
One.
push up B Street. Nice shots
Yeah, fucking
from
Moko.
Shotzzy. And really what we saw from Shotzzy versus Rocker earlier, he was a transition guy, right? He was so annoying A Street for them. But this time through, you just get a couple of spawns over towards A, and they just get on the point.
Yeah, I mean, got no choice at that point. You're like, all right, that's right there. Let's head on. You capitalize. Now just 1 more point of progress if they can get it done. Cell, great finesse, draws with the triple, lining them up. Pred going to be the last guy here, 45 to go. Those are some shots out of Pred as he's on a 4 streak.
And when you only need 1 tick, this is what FaZe have to do. They have to get pushed on forward, but now they got to deal with Pred behind enemy lines once again. Simp.
Do the same thing he did with Shotzzy.
Yeah, they're just kind of leaving it. They're just kind of leaving it, trying to take the fights towards the B tank. But now the numbers in favor of Optic for now.
Pred tracks the whole way back. That's twice. Like they just let the point man and Pred are shots. Like, all right, leave him. They got tracked back, and then they get the kill. 15 seconds to go. Shotzzy trying to find some big ones through the window with the pistol. Some damage done, but the kill won't be there. Clock stopped. 10 seconds to go. It's moving. It's moving quickly. Somebody's got to get there to get test. They're not able to do it.
Dude, let's go.
Go up 2-0. Some odd moments in that round, from the spawn and the A capture to the lack of urgency there at the end for FaZe to deal with that stack.
I mean, you know, we saw that from Ultra. It worked so well here. On some of their attack rounds, they were just stacking it, right? Catching them off guard. A lot of the times you only have 1 player, maybe just no trophies, but FaZe, you only had a tick left. You had to get on that point, but they allow them to capture A, and that turns into an offensive round win.
All it was last year in Control. Like, just stack it, get on it.
Yeah, it's like they forget about it for a little bit, and then some teams just like they just stack the point.
It's so fast.
It works really well.
Yeah, it's so fast. 2-0 edge though for Optic Texas to maybe start this reverse sweep. You got to close out here. You need 1 more round. Celian this time has a trophy to work with. He's going to get on A early. Some damage likely going to get done as they try to answer back. You've got a BCM and Cell inside with a trophy. You got to make decisions now if you're Optic Texas to deal with it. You got 1 person pushed all the way up on the other side. That'll be Shotzzy. He's going to drop. The fight's inside the point. Going to go the way of Big Ken. He's need to step it up in this series. A moment there maybe to get him ramped up.
Yeah, you said it, get him going. You do get 1 tick done today, but that was a chance to actually get more. Great job from Ken and Optic to help him out. But now for FaZe over towards B. They have to win this round. They want this map to continue.
Come on, Kenny.
Ken with the opener, and once that opener comes down, here comes the rest of the dominoes.
Some of the timings with all these pillars, like those 4 pillars there, like you just think you've got it cleared. There's one lurking behind. Simp. Now getting the kills off the point. Back back towards B. Go Atlanta FaZe. They'll stop this clock with 46 to go. Simp is really pushed up deep. We'll see what he's able to do. And on the other side, you've got two in Kenny and Shotzzy. aBeZy's trying to find them. He's like, where are they? Or he's able to get one, get the call out to his team on the other, but the rest of the time is going down on B.
Yeah, they're playing very aggressive towards this flank. It's Optic. But while that's going on, you had two players on B, just got ignored. And yeah, it's one of those plays where you're trying to flank it and then get them off the point and maybe just win with that trap we saw earlier today.
I mean, you had one fight that was like Simp on the other side. You know, the other fight was Shotzzy and then pushed up. And the entire time, I mean, the other, there was two on the point just hanging out.
Dude.
And what that does now, I mean, you get aBeZy off his spawn.
Let's go, Shotzzy. We need you right now, dog.
You're going to turtle up here a little bit. Just play around Cafe for Optic.
It's Kenny and Shotzzy. Stacked and ready to battle. Shotzzy there with the first cell, still looking for kills, trying to maybe track back and help his teammates, and there he's able to get one pick. That 10 spree he was able to do against Ultra, that seems like a distant memory. 12 and 13 currently, but you've got a minute to work with. Lives just about even. This is one that might go down to lives. Can't finish the kill there for yourself, but you can track back on the other side of it. Trophy not going to work is the one is there from Optic. He continues to just bob and weave back and forth. Snap is there to take down one, but the trade eventually comes through. Slight advantage in lives. You're on the point. Second bit not done, though. You're able to come in and clear that.
Yeah, I mean, Cell could just never get to the 8 point, and that trophy not going down hurts them big time, right? The stuns, the nades come in.
Ooh.
aBeZy, though, stays hot, 24 and 17.
That's a hard gunfight, too, when you've got to, like, sort of recenter and hip fires are sliding underneath you. Impressive stuff there.
Now, 6 versus 9. aBeZy trying to get to the objective, pausing the clock. They still have time to work with Optic. Not many lives for them. They have to use their teamwork. Instead, it might just be FaZe winning this round.
We'll see. You've got to be the efficiency gods now with no respawns remaining. One person ripped out of it. Shotzzy is gone. Fred trying to get the peek. You try to get the slide there. If your draw's not going to work out. Fred able to get inside. All the nades now hitting. Down to 25 seconds. Kenny, Dashy through on the feed. You lose Kenny. Suddenly, it's going to be just Fred and Dashy.
I love this play from aBeZy. He doesn't overchow front Cafe. He's going to take a route, wait for his teammates to come off a spawn. Dashy just trying to roam, trying to find anything he can. Here we go. The last push, 10 seconds. Fred's going to find the first. Dashy, oh, doesn't finish the kill. Maybe just runs out of ammo. Has to pull out the Renetti. Now it's a 1v3, an impossible situation for Dashy.
Yeah. That one got kind of crazy, though, at the tail end of it. You had no response for what felt forever for Texas, but the numbers simply there. There's just a little less time, a little more pressure. So, like, aBeZy can't take the long route, like you mentioned. If you've got to just fly, maybe you line them up if you're Predator Dashy.
Come on, baby.
They've got just enough time to work with. They extend this map 3.
And that all just stems kind of from that Kenny and Shotzzy play, right? Just working the offensive pinch that it didn't work out because you gave up map control. You had nobody A streets. That is where every single push started from for FaZe.
Yeah, it's pretty rare you see like 2 players that pushed up like fighting, right? Like this is a high rise. Crowd knows we've got a big moment here.
If we could get first take.
If you're Optic Texas, a chance to extend this series. Another team name comes through for FaZe. But FaZe have battled back in this.
Now you can see 2 players off a spawn, try to just transition over toward A. So you're going to have 2 players on A. This is what we saw them do earlier today. Just kind of lurk on that street, lurk around the A side. Here comes the retake. Kenny going to find the first. The second tick is in. You don't want a team shoot. This is beautiful dodging by both players and Pred and Kenny, and they are winning gunfights. The A zone is baby. Over to B. You have 2 players on it. 2 ticks are in. Optic going for the throw.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Come here, Kenny. Let's go, big boy. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Let's go. Up, up, up. Come on.
See a lot of them
come on. Up, up, up. Over here.
And we're seeing that more and more where
come on, here.
These defensive teams, they kind of give up that A straight a little too early. Give up A search, then one player sneaks on through, and second does. You get that 2-stack. It's just a lot of timings, right? The slide outs, the gunfights that are going down.
Good boy.
Our players, they are so good at staying alive inside of that A zone. And that turns into a great
Let's go,
win there.
baby. Let's go,
And now
baby.
we look forward to an Invasion Hardpoint.
What do you want,
which
man?
these teams
What do you
will
want?
play
You
against
don't
each other
hyper.
on. They have been some close maps. What in the online league, it was what the
Hell yeah.
15-point victory
Hype.
you were able to get for FaZe. Next time you play Optic, able
Fuck
to
yeah,
answer
dude.
back.
Let's
That's
go.
one they have gone back and forth on. But
Shut
before
up,
we start
shut up,
talking
shut
about
up,
that deeper,
shut up.
from the stats side of it and popping off for you.
I mean, just look at the non-traded kills from the top three, Kenny, Shotzzy, Pred right there. I mean, 17, 17, 19, that's obviously a great deal. But you got Kenny and Shotzzy in the game a little bit more. You saw they had some big-time plays. And that led to some of their offensive round wins. On the opposite end, I mean, we haven't said his name much at BC, but he was fantastic for them.
He certainly was. We'll check out some of the replays from this as the players get locked and dialed in for the map 4. Map 4, Invasion. Map 5, Karachi if needed. But this one, you know, you thought Optic Texas have in the bag. Man, it looks like they might be able to take this as real fashion, but the dramatic style you get back into of your phase, and then and even more dramatic fashion, you win that round 4 so fast.
I mean, it just, I mean, obviously the
You
kills
blink,
come in
it's
for
done.
Optic,
Like,
and-
jeez.
But it just felt like FaZe didn't really know what to do off his spawn. Kind of hit both zones. Just doesn't work out. All the players stay alive for Optic. Kind of that 2-2 split.
Yeah, you had like 2 2-on-2s, and you win them both if you're Optic.
But a big
Still
match
didn't
win
score,
there. We
though?
just saw FaZe take down Ultra. That
Dude, why is
on the
defense doing all the work on
really
the Baltimore and Chiefs right now?
We're seeing Optic on this. They should be 3-0 on Invasion Control, but they kind of threw that map versus Rocker.
Yeah.
But their offense is looking very creative.
Well, you were looking for a bounce back at the start of this series for FaZe, you know, considering how you got bopped off the main stage in the winners final. They answer quickly. They win the first 2. Then it's like, all right, one punch is thrown. Can Optic Texas bring it back? And they do exactly that. They win the Invasion Control. We now get ready for our hard point. This is anybody's. They've both shown they can beat each other on it.
No, they have, yeah. I mean, and I think what we saw in map 1, what we've seen for Optic is the game stays close. And then they just kind of take off in that second set of rotations. That's going to be the same thing here.
Yeah, and where FaZe kind of were able to do that to them in the map 1, can they do it again? Can they close it out here on a hard point? But I think I'm thinking about Optic, you know, all right, we give them the first hard point. We lost that. We have dominated it, at least this weekend. We have been the best hard point team, maybe outside of Ultra. We know what we are capable of. We can get this to a map 5. And then maybe you don't feel confident anywhere in Search and Destroy right now. Maybe it's question marks all over the place, but at least there's one you've won.
Yeah, I mean, Karachi, yeah, 1-0.
That's the one. That's the one positive. Can you get there? But it all rides on this map 4. And we've talked a lot about Kenny kind of starting slow in this one with Shotzzy. They're going to be massive here in this map 4. They're going to need a full team effort. And that's usually what it is when you've got teams this caliber battling it out. Like, you get one dud out of one player.
What's up?
That is what
Big, you just woke up?
What happens if you don't get a
You just woke up?
masterclass that we got in map 1, right? Like,
My dog.
13, you know, was double positive.
My dog. Hey, the game's good as fuck.
We kind of saw in that map 3. You didn't get that from Simpson.
Chiefs and the Ravens. They're fighting.
Not like you can take that much away from a terminal.
They're fighting.
To Invasion. Like, terminal's kind of its own beast.
Yeah, they're fucking, dude, they're talking mad shit to each other. Like, after each play, they're pushing and shoving each other. Yeah, dude, they're fucking. Yeah. I'm live streaming right now, too. I'm just watching the CDL.
Big in this map 4. Maybe send it the distance, and we've got 2 map 5 classics between these squads this weekend.
But the Ravens are stopping them, but fuck, dude, the Ravens offense is they're not doing too hot, bro. So it's 14, no 17, it's 17-7. But I don't know, dog. I feel like the wide receivers are not doing their thing, bro. Yeah.
They're going to come down to a 1 versus 1 on this first push. And Shotzzy able to
If Chiefs win, they win Super Bowl. But if Ravens win, then it's going to be a good Super Bowl.
wins the gunfight, but Shotzi's got a little help in Pred.
That's what I feel like.
Lost him when he drop shotted, but
It's already third
as
quarter.
you said, the help there. Simp then through with a double, the tiny tears. Started
Did you get any messages today?
up this time. Been a lot of team kills are phased with nades on the other side. Do finally get one here.
Martha hasn't
If
said
you're
shit.
Optic, his Pred will connect.
Yeah, I think this title more than any we have seen so many teammates. Obviously, a lot of it just comes down to in past
Oh, bro.
a ton of Semtex. You're gonna see a little bit of frags on this
Just
one,
in
and
case.
that's just what it turns into. But here we go, Shotzzy on a big pinch. trying to get behind enemy lines. He might have just done it. He could try to set this up so they can get P2 and have spawns for P3, but he runs by one in Draza. It may just not matter.
BZ is just locked up. He's got to look both ways. Shots with a Deddy pop and then gets in position. Nice shot.
Oh,
there.
nah,
Got to step
shit,
up.
bro.
Texas
Like,
here for this hard point. Simp though. Simp just goes up the gut, takes out two. A BZ right back into it. As good as it looked there for Optic. They're cleaned out of it fast.
Yeah, but Dashy gets a very lucky spawn here. Dashy's going to spawn it up behind them. And yeah, Optic's
For
not
real.
going to expect this. So
Literally.
you had the break there. Draza stays alive the entire time while Optic pushed on through. And now the spawns come through. And behind the Dashy spawn,
Yeah, we're just chilling. It does feel good outside though. It's not hot. It's like, I mean, you feel the sun, but it's like cool. It's like fucking California.
Dashy gets the kill. Now we get ready for our next.
And then Bailey's fucking horny as a mug right now. Goddamn, she's looking god so bad, bro. Cuddy's laying down, and I just see her get on the couch and like get right next to him, like.
Soaking up time inside.
Chill out, horny little horn dog. She just like me for real.
Here comes the push out, and the stun's gonna connect from Draza.
That's so funny.
Now, you see the spawn out here for Palace side. Two players are out of this.
Right.
If you are Optic, but they get in a position, the crossfire is through and from the hold.
All right, sounds good.
Comes Kenny and
All right,
Dashy right
bye-bye.
from the hill, getting this 30 seconds.
Yeah, and the fact that like you felt like two of them were out of it, but one was able to get a kill at range, some nice team fire, but then you're already to bust through. It'll be 5 in a row for BZ, who's really been stepping it up within this series. You saw the great map 3 he had. Now getting it done in the map 4.
He's locked.
He certainly is. Lead change over to FaZe, 6 in a row for a BZ. We'll see what he can do from this 8-2 start.
Yeah, he's gonna have that cruise missile, 6 in a row. Very slight edge here to Atlanta FaZe. Over to P4. You can see number 2 Shotzi just playing for those Palace spawns. FaZe are going to know this, so they're going to try to cash in here. One player left on the hill will be Dashy. Let's try to have some heroics, but the number's too strong for FaZe.
Yeah, and obviously you're working about the rotation if you're Optic Texas, but so far where FaZe have not been a great breaking team, obviously in hardpoint so far this year. They've been much better with the holding. You've had some clutch breaks here if you're FaZe. You dealt with maybe a fluky spawn that was a bit frustrating. You battle back into this. You take the advantage. And now if you can get these final 30 or so seconds, if you lose the Palestine, not the end of the world, you're looking at a tie game.
Yeah, they're going to play for some map control here. We'll see where Pred spawns. Sometimes you spawn all the way towards the back, but he's going to get the close Palace spawn, so they're set up for P5. Well, we saw this earlier today. If you could just find some room here early in the hill or before it pops, maybe that's where you find the break. Stellium gonna get stunned out, but somehow able to win the gunfight.
Guy wins gunfights he's got no business winning sometimes. Here's the streak. You're still on it. 7 in a row for a BZ. Sending it in quickly. Get some information, but not able to pick on the kill. Simp that's able to get the opening pick. What can you turn this into? Shotzi waiting on the player that called him the streak. He's able to knock down Celium Simpta with a second. Utility right up through the window. It goes right past him. And then Pred just peeks out once the utility is used and gets the kill. You're still holding on if you're Texas. And it's Shotzi working to play.
You have one more player there and a BZ. The cruise doesn't connect. It gave them some space. Still 30 seconds on the clock. But look at this tight setup here. Dashy, some awful COD timing. Awful. Doesn't go his way. Pred on the hill with a big 2. He had help from Kenny. But there we go. They rotate over towards Palace. The break doesn't come through. We're going to pretty much have a tie game.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way it looked. Unless you really got something crazy with the streak, which you don't expect to. They're able to hold. Now we get ready for P1. And this is where Optic have been so good in some of these hard points. You get into the second set of rotations. They make some adjustments. You get the advantage. FaZe do it to them the first time through. They're doing a good job here in the opening moments of this hard point.
A chance here. You're going to see a couple of players, Kenny and Dashy, pretty much spawn behind the setup. That's going to be the first kill on a Draza.
Evasion is something, huh?
Last couple of times for FaZe, it has not worked out, and yeah, that turns into the break.
Celium trying to get back in. He's going to get slammed. Kenny there with the kill. Now you got to battle back in again if you are FaZe. Simp, Abisi. Leading the way for FaZe, trying to lead the way on this push. Able to get one through the window. They clear Dashy then out of the point. Abizi, the last guy up there. You're holding on to a 3-point victory. 13 left to go here. Now next hard point, you see it popping. It'll be Pred there first on rotation for Optic. The rest funneling up that street.
Yeah, he's able to win the first gunfight onto Celium. Just kind of locking this down. You see the rest of FaZe. They're trying to push from bottom street side, and it's looking like they're going to find 3 kills. They do just that. This is exactly what they want here. That's going to be all 4 dead. Now you're going to have Optic spawning Palace side.
And this has been the difference. It's the breaks from FaZe. You've done such a good job collapsing, or at moments where Optic looks like they're in such good spots, everyone just gets smoked off the map, but it's still a tight one. And still plenty of time for Optic Texas to work some magic. Yeah, 30 left to earn here. You're right over that 200-point mark if you're Atlanta FaZe. Still got 2 flirting around the point. Pred trying to work some kills. Mid-map, you got Simp as he's trying to transition across and get some help. Spawning out behind Optic. You've got a BZ. He's going to have some freebies there.
Yeah, but Shotzzy, he takes a long route. He's been alive this entire time. He's been the anchor, really, for Optic. Both teams spawning Palace. We're just trading back and forth. But with Shotzzy in that spot, he's able to go on that long route, give them spawns for P3. But it was P3. That's where you found that break from FaZe.
Feels like so many times Texas have been there first. Just been whether or not FaZe can get the break. Can you hold this time if you're Optic Texas? You got to hold here. You got to do it. If you're going to get this to a map 5,
Dude, stop peeking.
Right out of the point. They're working up the street, trying to go big in the backside. Will be Dashy and Ken. Rotating into the point will be Dashy now. You've done just enough to hold on to this point for now. Pred, lovely win there as both are prone in the dirt. Wow, that was close.
Yeah,
it was real close.
Great read on both sides. It comes down to that 1 versus 1, and Dashy just gets to the point, knows his teammates spawning up close. They have his cross. Now on this rotation over towards P4, you already have a few players from FaZe in that spot.
And with this scoreline, I mean, both teams.
Yeah, what do you
likely? Do you want to get enough time here where you at least can win this with a P5? Just make sure you get to like 190 plus, so like a perfect hole gets you the dub. I think it's probably the call.
Yeah, but now look at number 8, Celium. He's gonna try to lock down the A street, so pressure over towards P4 for Optic. They have to break this setup because I don't think they're gonna have this Palace side of the map. And here we go, Pred, first man in. The stun's gonna connect. Still numbers over to Optic with the way Celium is playing, but it's on to Sim now on the hill.
One more there. How long can he hold off? He's been able to take out 2. Simp still dancing. Simp able to get 3. Dear God, no way. Does he get all of them here? He's like, I got ammo. It's something, I hope. He's taken out 3 in the time that he has exhausted. It's a one-man wrecking crew. That's a solid 15 or so second difference he's able to do. You finally get in if you're Optic Texas, and now it comes down to this. You need 29 points for the victory. Palace getting ready to pop. It's been all FaZe on the breaks. Texas now have got to do it. Optic have got to break here.
Now we've seen some magic from Shotzzy, right, in these positions with his movement, with his mind, but he's going to get taken down early. Off the hill goes Kenny. There's going to be the first pick. But you see where Shotzzy spawns out so far away. On the other end, Abizi does spawn out, so he's going to have a pinch here. So a couple of kills going down on both sides, but FaZe are holding on for now.
Can you make it scrappy? Can you get in? Can you extend this somehow? Now just 15 points needed. The kills starting to come through. They're starting to be there for Atlanta FaZe. 10 to go. Draza lighting it up. Optic are scrambling. Optic are sprinting. It's 5 in a row for Draza. FaZe look to get the last lap. They lock it down in Palace, and Optic are out of the tournament. FaZe will move on for the rematch.
Well, FaZe, I mean, props to this team to bounce back. You win both hard points. 0-4 coming into this match versus Ultra and Optic. But they win both of them here in Terminal on Invasion.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't see them winning both hard points. That's for sure.
Storylines just got to go out the window, right?
Yeah.
Man, but Optic, you finish a 3rd here. I think a solid showing. And they know what they have to work on.
And maybe that's the difference in this FaZe team with Drazi. Listen, they still have some work to do if they're going to win this tournament, but I don't know. A lot of these teams in the past, these past couple of years, like, are you coming to win 2 hard points against a good hard point team? It wasn't happening very often. There you do it, but Ultra just smacked them. We'll see if they fare better there, but like this was very winnable by Optic. It was.
No, yeah, you had a couple of P3 holds that didn't go your way. You win the first Palace. You're gonna see here on the sort of the game flow chart, they were right there.
I mean, some of them come down to like one player left, right, in multiple scenarios, but some of them they just got quashed off the point. Like the break just seemed to come in a little too easy for FaZe. But that one's back and forth. It was a tight one. It was a fun one.
Well, it wasn't. Yeah, we just kind of saw how
Fuck,
it was set up.
man.
Props to Simp there towards that P4. I think when his kills kind of make it very chaotic, because maybe if you find Simp there in that P4, you get a little bit more pushed up. You have time to work Palace a bit more. Maybe you find a pick or two. It doesn't happen, but there's a look at what happened throughout this game. FaZe versus Ultra rematch here in the final.
No, I think you nailed it. Like if you're going to create, you know, this mess on the Palace hardpoint, you got to kind of get the P4 break pretty clear. Then you can get layer of the map, get some picks, maybe make some mess, but Simp just dances, bro, for 20 seconds.
He's a great dancer.
He really is. Tiny dancer. We're done. Let's get it to the stage. Interviews ready.
No, the desk.
To the desk. I lied. To the desk.
There's no interview.
There's no interview.
Better. Thank you so much, Maven. I'm here. We got I Hold Shift, Alley Cat Nameless, your host Chris Puckett. We got to break down what we just witnessed because Optic came into this red hot. Atlanta had just been crushed by Toronto. But Atlanta still has Optic's number here in 2024.
Why would you bring it out when there's
hasn't been
people?
the case the last 8 years.
Yeah, it's a really good point, and it's the fashion of which they were able to bounce back and see great participation again from Simp and aBeZy across the respawns. That had been missing, not just in the Toronto series, but I think just kind of largely throughout the entirety of the weekend. Cell had been kind of carrying them through, so to see those Tiny Terrors wake up, show up here on Sunday, that's great news for Atlanta.
Allie, we didn't get to that game 5, so what did you learn in your first 4?
I mean, Atlanta to win both of those respawns was the most impressive thing I think I've seen all day with how they've been struggling and that fact that they lost to Toronto on all 3 maps in that way to come back and smack Optic Texas. It's just a testament to how good these players can be even when they are knocked down. Again, this is our #1 seed heading into the major in the first place, and Simp was like, I'm not going home yet. We're not done. We got to get to that last series.
Nameless, after every event, the teams go back to the workshop. They try and fix every minor mistake. You thought Optic had the edge coming into this matchup. What mistakes do they need to clean up to make sure this doesn't happen when we go to Miami?
I mean, it's just tough. You play a team back-to-back, right? Like, going into this one, same thing. Like, in the Search and Destroy, I think Optic has some improvements to be made when they get home. And they're still a championship-caliber team, right? You saw it right there. For Atlanta FaZe, there's just a couple huge breaks coming in. And we saw the improvement. They were struggling in hardpoint. We see it here, Treehouse. The slow, effort to take your time, get that first pick. That was all the difference in the world. Same thing with P2. Perfect setup by Optic. What happens? Atlanta FaZe just slowly collapses. The communication was clearly a lot better throughout the series. And for Optic, man, you had a great tournament. This is a brand new team. You just played against one of the all-time dynasties. It's going to take time.
Yeah, for Optic Texas, I think the biggest focus for them heading into Major 2 is definitely going to be those search and destroys. I think when it came to the respawns in this series, or specifically the hard points, they kind of just got outslayed, which isn't something that typically happens with Optic Texas, but now FaZe get that rematch in the grand final.
All right, we've seen a lot of invasion. Is FaZe the best invasion team? I have a feeling we're going to see it against Toronto in our next match.
Yeah, just best of 7, we're going to see it, I am sure, maybe in all 3 modes. But the best team in the game, hard to say, especially since Toronto just 6-1'd them on Search and Destroy in their last matchup. It's hard to make the argument.
That's not the same FaZe team that we saw.
That's true.
Toronto. That is a completely different team, especially in those.
But 6-1, Ant?
We got a brand new FaZe when we come back from the break. Stay locked in, everybody. This is the Call of Duty League Major 1, live from Boston.
map and mode, I'd say Old Patch Terminal Hardpoint.
I'd say the favorite map and mode is probably Karachi Hardpoint, or something with Karachi. It just feels like a skilled map.
Probably Karachi S&D.
I think Karachi Hardpoint.
Karachi Hardpoint?
Hardpoint Invasion.
Subbase HP. It was the old Subbase Hardpoint, but that's because it was super mixy with the old spawns. But now, probably like a Skid Row Hardpoint or something. Maybe a mixy MP1.
Karachi Hardpoint.
I would say Karachi Hardpoint.
Definitely Karachi Hardpoint. And that's just only because you can run a sub on Karachi. So it's a really heavy sub map, and you know when you get in red, anything can happen. And as a sub, that's like my world in there.
Probably High Rise Control.
Maybe just Karachi in general. I played the original MW2, so I'm a little ancient, but it's just cool to see, you know, fast forward a decade from now that we're playing the same maps that I did when I was like 12 years old. So maybe like a Karachi or like a sub base, or no, sorry, Karachi or Terminal. You can't forget about a good Terminal.
High Rise Control. It's literally, you can jump everywhere on the map. You get top third, jump top heli. It's the playground.
Invasion Hardpoint.
My favorite map and mode is Invasion Control.
Whoa. Yeah, I mean, I'm giving intel to other teams now. Like, if I answer that.
Wait, that's a hard one. Wait, I can't be giving away the vetoes.
Favorite map and mode in the current rotation? Oof, probably Subbase Hardpoint right now.
I Skid Row Hardpoint.
Map and mode, Subbase Hardpoint. Best player in the game on that map.
You're a good boy.
We are back live in Boston from the MGM Music Hall. The CDL Major 1 closes out today, and we are just one match from finding out who will be crowned our champions. $150,000 on the line and title of Major 1 champ. It sounds good to both of these teams. We have Atlanta FaZe and Toronto Ultra left in the bracket here on the desk. It's Puckett. We got Studdy joining us once again. Alley Cat and Nameless. And I want to start with you, Studdy. Our brackets were terrible. Our pick-em totally inaccurate. As we take a look back at this bracket, what were some of the biggest surprises for you?
I think, first off, it's Miami Heretics. You know, this is one of the top teams that we had going into the event. I was praising their teamwork on the online qualifying stages. They come here and don't win a single map. And alongside the Subliners, another squad who came in with a top 3 seed. They got 3-0'd by Rocker and then get eliminated by the Royal Ravens. Just catch me off guard. These are some top dogs here.
Alley Cat, if you're looking for some of the closest matches to go back and watch, what were some of your favorites here on day 1, 2, or 3?
It's got to be Vegas Legion getting reverse swept again by the LAG. I believe that was day number 2, our last matchup of the day. And any of the game 5s, to be honest, you should go back and take a gander at. We had so many of the teams from the Elim bracket make it further than I think anyone expected. Not only that, got some points, which we remember from last year is so important for these teams that aren't starting off very hot in the beginning of the qualifier.
Nameless, what I love about this bracket is, yes, we had some upsets, but at the very end, it's number 1 versus number 2 from our standings. They are playing for this.
Yeah, they're playing for this beautiful trophy. And, you know, these teams have had some historic battles in the grand finals before. We know the stories of these organizations. Both teams packed a punch, and Atlanta FaZe looking stronger than ever after that match. But Toronto, since the holiday break, have been unbelievable. Only losing 2 maps in 2024. They're playing for points, but they're also playing for that cash.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this cash earlier. $150,000 for first place and 90 for second. Can I just say, shout out to the LA Thieves organization, because 3 of their 4 players from last year made it into our top 3. We got Envoy v. Draza now on the main stage for grand finals. They're clearly doing something right.
Absolutely. And I think we need to take a moment here and apologize to some of the squads that we, I guess, didn't expect to perform as well as they did here on land. I got to start here with Lamar in Minnesota. Yes, I picked them to heat things up when they were in the online qualifiers, but I figured once they got to land, they were going to get crushed. Their bracket was terrible. You're taking on the world champ Subliners in the first round, and not only did the Rocker beat them, they did it in a 3-0, Alley.
They did it in a 3. I mean, it was a slamming, and this shocked everybody. The true dark horse, the true underdog of this entire event had to be Minnesota Rocker, because they didn't stop with the New York Subliners. They were here all the way up until this morning and even tried to put up a fight against Optic Texas. They will bow out, but I think this spells great stuff moving forward for a team that maybe was overlooked, especially for the rookie in Linz. He proved not only can he do it on the online qualifiers, but he can also do it on land.
Jay, I know you always keep it a buck with me, so do you think this roster is going to stay together for most of this season? Do you want them to stay together?
I want them to, because when you start off the way that you did, 0-4, it's major resilience to that entire organization to win 3 straight going into this major, secure a winner's bracket spot, upset the top 3 seed, and then continue going on to eventually end at a top 4. This is one of those squads we didn't really have a lot of faith in. It was all about the SMGs early on, but when the AR start to come alive, you can just tell that this team is complete, just need more time.
No one had faith in this roster. Just 5 map wins entering the first major, but they made some big roster changes. In the Carolina Royal Ravens, well, a total different team here in Boston than what we've seen online.
Yeah, you know, Chris, they made a lot of roster changes, right? They had a situation with Real, and then they have to bring in Felony, and now this team is a brand new squad, right? Like, we saw the potential in that FaZe match online where they went all the way to the distance, but they didn't have enough time to get good at search and destroy. But it has been a spectacle to watch them in these hardpoints. Felony had himself one of the best tournaments we've seen in a long time, and Clay continues to do it, leading his team in damage. The energy was there. It just feels like they were turning a new page.
And the crazy thing, when you look at this roster, I'm instantly expecting them to be good at search and destroy. They were actually flip-flop opposite. Good at the respawns. And when you take a look at this, look at how long these guys were playing together. That's been what? That's like 2018, 2019?
5 years ago.
They got some history, and they showed it all weekend long for all the matches they were in. And with this team, it's a quick fix. We're talking about search and destroy. We have TJ Halley. We got Clayster, a 3-time world champion. And finally, who came from the S&D scene with that young, aggressive SMG and Gwyn. They're going to be able to get it together in S&D.
Gwyn is nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he showed it on land. You know the nerves always kick in? Not when you got Clayster next to you, man. He was performing.
And I think Felony showed everyone why they call him the human UAV during his listening. Carolina Royal Ravens impressed here in Boston, as did Seattle Surge. Very low expectations after this squad started off 2-0. They fell to 2-2, then 3-3. They entered this tournament 3-4. But the Surge did not go away, Allie.
Yeah, love them or hate them. I mean, they were able to get away with a lot in some of these series. Their search and destroy looks to be back to what we expected it to be at the beginning of the qualifier, and that allowed them to fight their way through, also sending home the home team and getting through to yesterday. And for Surge right now, I'm happy that we have kind of another villain in the league. It's just all Atlanta FaZe. You know, they're the biggest villains in the league. I feel like Seattle Surge is trying to make a case for themselves now at this point.
Nameless, what was more surprising, seeing the Surge make a run for top 6 here in Boston, or the fact that LAG was right there with them?
100% has to be LAG. You know, I actually had high hopes for the Surge team. Obviously, they had some world champions on the squad. They've been great at search and destroy, but for LAG, their last few matches were terrible. They looked like they were going to get bopped out instantly here in this tournament, but what happens? Fame came to play. This team is the real deal, man, and you saw it. Like, they even knew they were going to come in and get that reverse sweep done right away. They got some maps in their bag, and in search and destroy, they were just a couple tweaks away from being a good S&D team, converting those first bloods, and they worked through it as they kept going through the bracket. LAG surprised a lot of people, and I think they're going to keep this roster for us.
And I think if you're looking at this LAG roster, it's simple. It's just strictly to search and destroy, mostly on their attacking rounds. We got to get some strategy going. We can't wait to the final 20 seconds to apply pressure towards one of these sites and eventually work a bomb plan. You're just letting teams slowly pick you apart. But one thing they can bank on is that respawn game mode. You got to keep that up, but that S&D has to be a lot quicker.
Hey, Jay, I know you don't look at the numbers. Your partner does while you cast. So tell me, who do you think has the highest KD after 3.75 days of action?
Oh, I can tell you, I definitely wasn't expecting Slasher to be.
Me neither, baby. The Boston boy.
Series, come on.
Yo, it makes sense, though, right? Like, no
He was
snake,
frying,
no
though.
cheese.
Slasher was frying.
Boston fans are cheering here in the venue. I love to hear it. And, of course, shout out to Ghosty, LA Thieves, able to jump into the top 4 alongside Celia and Fred. And, of course, Old Man Attached right there above Scrap. A lot of teams with some representation here in our top 10, Allie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a different team in every single line of that in the top 10, but part of that top 10's got to be Optic Texas. We unfortunately said goodbye to Optic Texas in the last series, and they will bow out at top 3. But I got to say, it looks like they are actively making changes in their series, in these in-game moments, and I think that spells a great thing for the Green Wall moving forward.
And I think for Fred, like, this is a guy who just made the jump from Seattle last year to Optic. He didn't miss a beat. He's still the same exact player. And that's crazy to say, because wasn't he a couple weeks late in the beginning of the year to actually play in the game?
So he got over
he
here,
was absolutely putting on a show all weekend long. Just kind of figure out that S&D for Optic Texas, they be straight.
What was impressive for me is that they're just playing the respawn game the right way.
Yeah.
Like, not usually these Optic teams bail themselves out on an individual basis, and honestly, I'm gonna give a lot of that credit to Kenny. His teams are typically some of the most disciplined teams in Call of Duty, and he's brought that culture over towards Optic. And you're seeing Dashy pick up all this time, as Ali likes to call him, the Hill Kitten. You see Fred take over, pushing out these cuts, and it was beautiful to watch them this weekend. I think they got a great foundation to build upon.
Optic was number 5 coming in. They finished number 3. Are the expectations for them to be better than that at the next major?
Oh, without question, because there's only one fix. It's search and destroy, and they have the personnel to get it done. They have the coaching staff. They have everything that they need to improve in that mode. That's the only thing that's holding them back from a championship.
I got to give a shout out to the guy behind you and everyone else behind us here in the MGM Music Hall. The Boston fans have brought it. We know this city is famous for how their fans treat competition. We heard boos out of the first 10 seconds. We had people camping overnight, waiting since 2 a.m. to get in the doors first, and this has been an insane venue.
Yeah, I knew it was Boston right when New York walked out, the whole crowd stood up. They said, boo, we don't like no New Yorkers in here. And they've brought the energy all weekend long. The fans outside, people spray painting their hair green. It has been nuts in the music hall.
Jeremy, you got a favorite fan interaction on the week so far?
No, I don't think so. I don't think people like me that much. I'll figure
I like you, Jay. I got a good one. That's been, I think every single day we've been on broadcast, there's this fan behind me that's been standing up and making a heart sign on the broadcast. That's probably been my favorite one on the weekend.
Big shout out to the man who got the Attach and Clayster tattoo. That is next level fandom. We have more to be excited about here at the Music Hall. When we come back, it is the grand finals. The players are ready, so stay tuned. Toronto Ultra, Atlanta FaZe, live from Boston. It is time to get the party started. Welcome in, everyone, to the Major One Final presented by Monster, Call of Duty League's best, going toe-to-toe as we're down to our two remaining squads, Toronto Ultra, Atlanta FaZe, and $150,000 waiting for the champions. Welcome in, everybody. Chris Puckett, Study, Alley Cat, and Nameless all here for the final match in Boston. Alley, I want to start with you.
What's up?
This is the first final of the season. What is the importance of this event?
The importance of this event is kind of bragging rights right at the beginning of the year. You know, we're the first team ahead of the game. Also, the trophy, all the points, the money. You're ahead of everyone. There's a lot of things, Chris. It's a very long list. It's everything.
And if you've been watching competitive Call of Duty for a while, you should know that our first team we're going to talk about have been favorites. Almost every single competition they've entered, 32 events for the Tiny Terrors, 9 championships, 2 world rings to go along with it. These guys have been phenomenal, and they have some excellent teammates to go with it.
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
This is a dynasty at this point. You have to say it. They bring in Draza, another world champ, to this squad, and they picked up right where they left off from last year, dominating in those search and destroys. The problem is they ran into a super hot Toronto Ultra squad, and they have to make adjustments on the fly. We've seen it before. And for your Monster Energy pregame, keep the hard points close and take those search and destroys. 3 and 4 on hard point at the major. But that last hard point team you saw, not the same squad. The breaking was drastically improved. And then also the SNEs have to be the bread and butter. They've been 12-2 in that game mode, 85% win rate, but they only won 1 round, letting those bombs get planted in an astounding 4 rounds of those 6.
Atlanta struggled against Toronto in their opening duel up there in the winners bracket finals. Now looking for a reset as they go 7 maps potentially against one of the world's best. Toronto Ultra was on fire throughout champs. They ran the winners bracket. It wasn't until that grand championship that they were eventually handed losses. 5 in a row, though, sent them packing with silver in their hands, and they've been thinking about this moment ever since.
Yes, ever since. But again, this is Major 1, and they already have 1 win over Atlanta. They have been undefeated throughout this entire weekend, and it's been handedly by like 100 points in hard points. So when it comes to the Monster Energy pregame, obviously your hard point has been unreal. 13-1 record with a plus 85 average score margin and a 10-map win spree. So just keep doing what you're doing is essentially what this graphic's going to tell you, because Toronto is right now the team to beat.
I love this showdown. Number 1 versus number 2, just like we scripted it. And it's time to get the final predictions in. Atlanta FaZe fell the first time. They fall a second time in the best of 7. I got Toronto winning this one 4-2.
I just think Toronto, too, fundamentally sound when you talk about the respawns. And the fact that they were able to 6-1 Atlanta FaZe in a search and destroy where they were 5-0. Oh, yeah, they're the top dog. I got Toronto.
2 Ultra so far.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Toronto Ultra in this one. They looked way too good.
Nameless?
This theme has happened. The unanimous desk. I'm going with Toronto Ultra in this series. Ready for Atlanta to prove us wrong.
Crowd, make some noise for both of our teams as we get your monster final start as we send it up there with Guy Blaze.
All right, Boston, only 2 more teams remain, and it is time to crown a champion. Are y'all ready to get this started? Now, the competition has been keeping us warm all weekend long, but this first team coming to the stage loves to freeze over hell. Get ready, because here comes Toronto.
I love when the news coming in on a day-to-day. Already know what's happening, I don't gotta shake the hay. Big moves, big stepper in the right direction. The trip continues, every double use a psychedelic. I think they gon' need a minute. Look, I'm interested in making ends opposed to making friends. Double bags, I've been paranoid, I've been a safe, so take a check. Finishing this drink should only take a sec. But Mark just cut me off, he told me that I go on stage in 10. Walk out to my own shit on the main event. Vinci my cologne after the show, she told me it was a favorite sense. Sprint event is spacious, we could take it friends. What happened next, you could take a guess.
Show some love to the Toronto Ultra. We got Scrap, Envoy, Insight, and Kleenex. The Kings of the North ready to do it again. The Toronto Ultra.
They just smoked these guys like 2 hours ago, and that's why they look so confident walking out onto that stage. This is why they made the roster change. They faced defeat in the World Championship, not looking to have that happen here. But they got to go through a dynasty. Let's bring them out, Blaze.
A dynasty is the best words you can call them. Ready to set the stage ablaze. Here comes those bad boys from the ATL.
I have a plan.
Crazy with the rage, dangerous and rage. Captain, never been afraid. Deadly with the aim. I ain't wanna take light. Look into my eyes. I'm the killer inside, coming for the prize. Do you really want these problems? I put you in that coffin. But I'm never Johnson. You quit this ain't to stop it. Hungry for the beef, leave you obsolete. See my lines deep, see me in the streets if you want the heat. Yeah.
Boston, you can boo or cheer, but get loud for Atlanta FaZe! We got Draza, Sim, Abizi, and Salium. Atlanta FaZe in full form.
Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I want to know what the hell the plan is that Draza keeps talking about, and I have a feeling we might find it out if they hoist that trophy at the end of this series. The villains of the league looking for their own revenge on the Toronto Ultra. It's the final match of Boston, Blaze.
Yes, it is the final match of Boston, and it's been a fantastic weekend here at MGM.
for once? We are. Let's get it, brother. This is going to be a fantastic final. We find out who the very best team in MW3 is so far. But as of course this weekend, it's going to, I mean, if the competition has been so insane.
I mean, the competition we're going to have is going to level up as well. These are the clear-cut best 2 teams in the game. It is going to be a best-of-7 in our grand finals. We have the series layout for you, and I'm just going to set it up for both of these teams. Combined for these 7 maps, Atlanta FaZe's overall record, 16-3. They have dominated with the maps we have. On the side of Toronto Ultra, 21-3. Even better, they've played it more. It is a terrifying sight. And I got to say, in the big advantage as well, Atlanta FaZe, the way they got pieced up on sub base, had to get that one out of there. I gotta say, a little edge already for Ultra. We start off with Karachi. They beat him down just 2 hours ago.
They did indeed. Well, it's a long grand finals ahead of us. 2 S&Ds, 2 controls, and 3 hard points. Good news for Scrap. He gets to come a few times.
He is going to be having himself a grand old time, and in the hard point, he was there. Absolutely dominant in both of them through 28 kills in each. The man to look out for. He is looking to be the boogeyman.
Here we go, Boston, once more. Onto the breach for all of us here as our grand finals begins. First hard point, always off to a blistering start as both teams, they go toe-to-toe for map control and for time in the race to 250.
And the opening break already won by Ultra. Get the extra time, get the jump in, but now you got to get those trades. Scrap looking nearby. Another team kill, by the way, coming through the grenades of Atlanta FaZe. They have been owning each other. Not what you want to have happen, but Simp delivers for 2, and Atlanta deliver the time.
FaZe clean house now. Top left-hand side of the minimap, Ultra in position for the next hard point. Every minute, these hills will rotate. They'll stay there for 1 minute. You have to soak as much time as you can.
Oh, and these are some nice kills coming through for Atlanta. When they played Karachi earlier, it was the middle 3 here, hills that Ultra dominated, and that starts right at P2. Ultra going to be here first, but right now, Celium, MacArthur, 3-0. It's Kleenex going to back him down, but FaZe are swarming around this new time.
FaZe are in. Ultra just on the outside, waiting patiently for the hit. Here comes Celium from up high. Gets into the fight. Finds one. Here towards the backline he goes. The rest of his teammates fighting around the point, trying to get themselves in there. Simp picks up the last. That's his hard point.
Hey, that's the break you need if you're Atlanta FaZe. Keep that lead maintained and force these back alley spawns. If they're going to be spawning here forever for Ultra, they're going to end up on the back foot. So this is clean and efficient work right now for Atlanta. And you even got Simp on the time. He's on a 4.
On a 4 spree for now. 5 make it. If he gets 6, he gets a cruise missile. Very handy on a map like this. Let's find out if he does get that in a moment. For now, Abizi trying to keep those players away from the hard point.
And Atlanta FaZe, you can see, very warmed up, ready for this match. They got dominated on the middle 3 hills. Well, now they got a cruise missile. They got the lead, and more importantly, they have that rotation pushed out the right directions. They are waiting in the wings for this hill to pop. Atlanta will be there first.
Great job from Atlanta early on. They've got a wonderful lead to work with. They're now making their way over towards that new hard point. In a second, it's going to pop open. Able to get that time. Now active. Celium do what he can to hold these players back. Lovely damage across 2 of them. Over to Simp now, the man in the hard point. His teammates are still spawning close, but he's taking these fights alone. No problem. Here comes Abizi. Gets a pair.
Set him in for the kill. If that damage does not come through for Celium, he does not slow him down enough, but the job being done by everybody on Atlanta. Abizi collecting the time, one direction to look, and maybe Insight trying to take an angle. He's trying to bang out just the side. Not an easy feat for Toronto.
Just like One Direction, it's hit after hit after hit. Here towards the front line. Abizi on 3, ends it from Insight. Inside of the hard point, you now go Ultra.
And this has been an unreal theme for Atlanta FaZe on the day. That is another team kill with the grenades that roll through. They have been making those mistakes constantly. I don't know if that's a comms things or if they're just getting unlucky, but punished for it. And now on rotation, Ultra are swarming around the new time.
Flying forward towards the bottom side of what we call the fountain. You won't be seeing this next season, folks. This has been patched out, but for now we get to say one last time, this Fountain Hill, and it is an absolute bloodbath in there.
And you got Simp taking a deep route, but the timing might be perfect. Well, lines up a few teammates, and now you bang through the door. A team kill from the other side, but Simp is gonna falter. The teamwork for Atlanta, not on point. And now for Toronto, maybe a moment to attempt to stabilize. Envoy up top, keeping these players at bay.
A very difficult situation to be in there for FaZe. Diabolical on the approach. Now the Ultra, they have the time, and Envoy from upstairs. This is the power position for this hard point, and he's going to stay there all game.
And Envoy, as long as he's alive, and if Insight falls, Envoy just gets to jump over top like Batman and gets sent in for the kill. But in the point, the ARs are
delivering. Scrap and Insight able to collect a few, and this has been a phenomenal Fountain Hill, able to get the final few players, draws a last man standing. Insight guns them down. Now you set yourself on at the rotation. Toronto again will be there first.
We were so excited to see that lead that Atlanta FaZe had built. Well, it's all gone now. Toronto Ultra firmly in the lead. Rotation down once again. They've got themselves over towards New.
And that is beautiful positioning by Scrap as well. Nice tuck lead in the corner. No one's going to sneak past them, and you get those early entry kills. And now you got Insight. Easy reads, keeping it busy at bay. Everybody on Ultra. The guns are getting warm.
Smoking up so far here in map 1. Not what you would expect, given the last time we saw Toronto Ultra in the finals. Sorry guys, had to say it. Hardpoint still in the hands of our purple team. Our cousins from up north finding the kills. Celium now managing to get the entry stun check there from Scrap. Gets it, but good coverage once again out of FaZe.
Yeah, Celium, that true difference maker right now for Atlanta. His tracking through walls is impeccable. A menace to play against, and Insight trying to divvy out some damage as well. You get a couple kills to break the point, but for the final 20 seconds, you see how much Ultra want that. They just sent 4 players for that final 20, and a little play like that can go a long way. They built themselves a very solid lead.
So many games in this tournament alone have ended within that 20-point mark, so truly every second counts. We say goodbye to our first set of hard points. We go right back to the middle of the map once again, and right now, toe-to-toe. Scraps to the inside. He has no idea that aBeZy is there with him. A quick contest, check the corners. Teamwork will make the dream work. Last man up is aBeZy. That's FaZe hard point.
And there you go. You know, Insight was down the street as well, so a beautiful start on P1. Get everybody into the right power positions. Celium looking from the heaven above. Right now from Ultra, Insight's been alive for such a long time. They've almost lost track of him, and he's just waiting for his teammates to get in position. They're going for the clean break, and that's 2. That's 3. They nailed it. Perfect teamwork again from Toronto Ultra.
So fresh, so clean. Toronto Ultra, time going their way. There's 25 seconds to be had here on P1. They've already got a man top left. They're playing the long game as well as playing the time.
And a break on like that on P1, it just sets you up so far in advance. You're going to have the perfect rotation over towards P2, and you're going to be comfortable. Maybe you fall out of P1, but the other players already set up around the zone. They know where the pressure is going to be coming from. Ultra consistently ahead of the game.
Rolling, rolling, rolling through these hills. Hardpoint now active. Top left-hand side of the map. Draws and cleans house from a distance. Wonderful work. CleanX now waiting patiently for the reinforcements. FaZe have to set up a defensive perimeter around that cafe.
And look at that timing, too. Players watching the flank for just a moment. They lost track of him for a second. The stun's going to connect, but he's dished out some damage. CleanX going to get tags on a bunch of different players, but can't connect with the kill. Now I got Ultra just trying to pierce their way through the point. aBeZy's going to get cleaned out, and now it's just a front smash through the time.
Successful pierce through the back line now. Big tag. Celium still alive. You've got players there for Ultra on the point. Envoy in the back door there with a rival 9. The perfect place to be with a submachine gun. Riddles Celium. Keeps the time flowing in favor of Ultra. Envoy once again in there. Last bullet in the mag, and he stays alive.
Oh, he's doing it for the final 20 seconds as well. But Droz is going to take it from him. So all these little fights towards the end for the extra bit of time. But you can see how much Ultra value it. That is one gunfight that saves you 15 seconds. And now on that rotation, a couple players spawning out. It's actually going to be Droz at the deepest one. So Atlanta might have a pinch, but that means the guys around the time need to slow him down.
Trying to slow him down. Here comes aBeZy with the nades and the tacticals just to keep these players at bay as best he can. He's stunned up. The hit will be there soon. Droz, a lovely coverage there with a pistol. Beautiful work out of FaZe so far. The teamwork is there. Let's have a listen in and see how the comms are.
Toby, really big top there. I have my tools. Start going nose, honestly. Yeah, this one. I'm already top. One more bottom new. Jamie's on new, laying down. They're spawning Reddit. Spawning Coop. Yeah, he's spawning me. Yo, one spawn boss on me. Your workbench is top. I'm taking it right off this old. That guy's gonna spawn red, Zach. I'm not sure where. On time, it's hot. There's one time and one top. Last guy's stairs, Jamie. On time. Jamie on time, last guy. He's laying down watching his mids. There's two left. I'm trying to top. There's two left. That's two. Listen, this is a great time, okay? I got Bangalore with you, okay? You go top. Mid, scrap, please.
comms are great, but the listening is difficult. Insight, so difficult to keep track of. They were screaming stairs. They didn't check in. If you miss on Insight, he goes on a 6 spree. He gets the cruise missile, and hey, you might get the final bit of scrap if you're Atlanta FaZe, but once again, they are behind on the rotation.
They've been exchanging the lead over the listening, and for now, you've got a cruise missile to play with. Sim's got his, Insight has one as well, so eyes on the skies in a moment, but look, we're nearly there. Next hard point's up. FaZe are in. Lead change once again.
And the pace has been slowed down again. Ultra always group up together to try to make those teamwork plays. Drozaville reading the pressure from up top, so he's calling that out to his teammates. Watches the back flank as well. Gets the next kill, looking for the trades because Ultra, they've made it into the time, but Droz is there. Pistol shot to get it done. FaZe still have the time.
Please house. Fresh mag. Not fast enough on the draw. Envoy gets there, cuts him down. Looking towards another lead change. If Ultra can get in there, but no, FaZe are still running the show. Over 200 points now. Sim starting to find the kills. 3 in a row for him. Draza has been a standout in the individual kills department, and now Chris Lair is starting to heat up.
This time is massive as well. Atlanta might just be driving the spike in, getting that nail home. The final 15 seconds absolutely going their way. Now you get to set up around new, play for the kills, and the Terrors are getting them all.
Back to the middle of the map now. You've got yourself streaks to play with also. This could be very helpful for FaZe. Ultra are not out of this yet. The team that has shown us the most prowess as Speak of the Devil, and he will come down from the sky and clean that point out for you.
Well, you got to get that trophy. Yeah, no, not there for Sim. He is going to fall. That is the 6 spree on Fountain that delivers you this P1 time. Draza jumping over top, can't make the play. Scrap there for the kill, and it looks like Ultra making them work for it.
Bad news, though. There is a trophy system down in the hill. Can it be disabled in time? No good. It doesn't hit. Toronto still in control.
And also, you're going to have a lot of things to dance with in this moment. FaZe can still break this point and win, but by the looks of it, they might just chalk up a good chunk of this time and rotate towards new. By the looks of it, P2 is going to decide this game.
Scrap staying down, staying in cover, staying on the time. 10-second gain now. Envoy up close, reinforcing the point. The new hard point to the top left is all FaZe.
And you got 12 seconds before that hill is going to pop. Ultra going to have a man in all. They got to try to make the break. That is not the start they're looking for. Inside on the wings, looking for the extra kills, the damage good. But 4 players for FaZe are grouped up at new.
Easy just crosses the way of the alley. And now the fight is on. You have to get in there fast. Kleenex does. Cuts through the back. Can't get the second. The hard point still in the hands of FaZe for now, but nobody on the time.
And FaZe have the close spawns as well. So Ultra going to have to fly. They're going to have to make those hero plays.
CQB here on the point. FaZe are in. Scrap from the outside. Finds one. The back line now. The hip fire. No good. Time now in FaZe's hands. The break. The break.
Oh my God.
Ultra hold.
And they're going to get it too. Insight going to clean house. The spawn is distant.
Dude.
Ultra steal. Game number 1. It is non-stop. It is endless. The pressure that Ultra apply. They make those consistent teamwork plays time and time again. And then when it gets mixy, when you just have to fly and pop off as an individual, well, they can do that too. The swarm on P2 towards the end was almost inevitable.
Inevitable. Well, map number 1. 250, 239. We got ourselves a grand final.
And I just love that look because it has everything. One of the slower maps we have seen out of Scrap. Who picks them up is Jamie Insight, the other AR for the squad, 29 and 19. That is the man that on the Fountain Hill, we heard the comms of Atlanta FaZe. They are screaming at Simp. He is on the stairs. He's on the stairs. Simp slides in, does a 360, can't get the kill, and Insight in that moment turns it into a 6 spree, gets the cruise missile, and we saw the impact that had in the end.
Indeed. Well, we saw what the trophies did to those last few hard points. Well, guys, a quick replay of the final moments here. This was the break from Toronto Ultra. Keep an eye on those very, very close scores.
And it's also like Atlanta FaZe had a few moments where they're just getting a little bit of time stripped away over and over and over. Kleenex there to dish out one player, but neither Simp nor Draza came in quickly. By the time they do, it's the extra reinforcements that in. The trades there from Insight and Scrap deliver, and it's just buying the time. Simp has to slide out for the trade. The extra man from Ultra is there, and then it's just overwhelming. And look who finished on the 6th, make it 7 spree as well. Insight for MVP.
Another massive spree there from Jamie Craven, adding to the stats. You can see from this point in time, all angles covered. Toronto Ultra soak it away. Find that map 1 victory, and that has got to feel so sweet.
I mean, that is an electric start to the match, especially because you had Ultra sitting there waiting, watching that previous series, had to get the guns warmed up a little bit, but you also just got to look at like the consistent plays that they're making. How many moments were like Envoy was the last man standing? Does he run into the hill and try to make the break? No, he waits for the regrouping, for everybody to get back in the mix. We saw it on an earlier P2 as well from CleanX. He's sitting bottom red, all of his teammates die, come off spawn. He doesn't rush in. He waits for the play to come to him. Ultra always on point. Admittedly, you see how much of a battle that game was. Maybe 7 different lead exchanges, but 250-239, a devastating way for Ultra to kick this one off. Now we go to Skid Row S&D. I believe it is a 2-0 record for both of these teams. Actually, that's for the Skid Row hardpoint. For the S&D, though, that is the theme for Atlanta. That is what they are going to need in this series if they want to hope to win.
Search and Destroy will be a very crucial one. We'll see if that goes the way of FaZe. For now, Ultra, breathe all that fire up your lungs. Try to get the heart rate right back down. This is a team that likes to play in a very comfortable and very calm environment. No matter how frantic the gameplay looks, they're very, very much in control. FaZe at the same time, Chance, is another team that they can play very fast. They get very hectic. I think with Draza on the comms as well, they're going to be a spicy team indeed. Going into the Search and Destroy, though, it's Envoy and it's Simp we're going to be keeping a big eye on.
And, you know, Simp throughout this year so far, he has been one of the best, if not the best player in the game. But in this major, Envoy has been there to match him. The stats incredibly comparable between the two. A few extra kills for Simp, a little bit better on the opening duels is Envoy. But you know these two players are just going to go toe-to-toe. No stranger to these matchups. No stranger to each other in the grand finals as well. You know the play style. You understand your opponent. This is execution time. Skid Row S&D is going to be a spicy one. Both of these teams will mix up the strats. You'll see the tunnel hits. You'll see CleanX flying through the top middle of the map. The two best teams in the world, an absolute square-up map.
Two of the best teams in the world, 4 of the best players in the world. Feast your eyes on Skid Row S&D.
And we talked about the tunnel hits as well. This is the type of play call where you just want to set the tone on the map, but look who's here. Native Trap dealing with the whole squad. He gets taken down, but CleanX gives you at least 2. The battle is here, a 2v2, and we got everybody split on the map.
Hey man, when my teammate does that in ranked, I'm smiling from ear to ear. You have at least 1 player trapped there, or do you? Oh, Insight now on the hunt. Chris Flair, turn around, son. Jamie Craven's right there for it. Draza makes it a 1v1. Now, the race is on.
New man on the squad versus one of the most clutch, if not the most clutch player in the league. Insight almost always wins his ones, but no one, and I mean no one, grinds like Draza. And he's got a right gun potentially for where that bomb is located. He's going for the swing.
Moving with purpose and moving very quietly. Draza now looking to recover the bomb. Insight on the stairs. Don't make too much noise, you may hear him. Here comes the fight. And patience may pay off. It does. Directly into the trap of Toronto.
And that is the tricky thing about Skid Row. You can grind as much as you want, but Insight just lives for these moments. Always the ice in his veins, chewing the gum and watching that body fall. First round for Ultra. And I will say, just to backtrack a little bit, that is also shutting down the tunnel hit right from round 1. Ultra always ahead of the game.
Yeah, Scrap gets there fast with the Renetti. His attachments give him additional movement speed. He gets there very quickly, and that stun slows them down just enough for CleanX to get in there and finish the dirty work. Great start from Ultra. Let's see what FaZe now do on defense.
You got the Rival 9s down low, maybe looking for the window hop-ups. CleanX, he just loves the show. He runs straight at you, but he gets caught. Abizi, the First Blood Reaper, able to give you 2.
He's back on it. He gets 2, gets away with his life. The rest of his teammates, though, are flying forward. My word, FaZe answer back real quick.
And what did we see from Toronto on this map when they played against Seattle? It was quite literally a CleanX montage, sprinting up top, running through, going on the instant flanks. CleanX plays a no hesitation game. He doesn't hesitate there, but the game planning from Atlanta FaZe able to catch him. Some amazing S&D minds on the team.
And the double-edged sword of being such a successful team this late in the tournament is everyone has seen your tricks that got you this far. You'll be watching out for CleanX on those flanks, especially here on Skid Row.
And again, good news about shutting down that tunnel push first thing. Atlanta FaZe almost consistently going to make those adjustments. Bit of a standard push as well. A lot of players swinging through back alley.
Kleenex is flying forward. He's got himself into tools. Now, post up, watch the jump up, make sure nobody gets involved. Envoy's there to back him up as well.
Yeah, back alley's been left wide open, but Kleenex is ready if they come up the push. You got number 3 Insight ready for the flanks, and Insight can help on these gunfights. So a lot of players on Ultra. The teamwork might be here, but aBeZy again finds the first blood.
Somehow managing to find these kills time and time again. aBeZy trying to create a space for his squad to flood in towards their A-bomb site. Another opening, and Kleenex finds it.
That's that teamwork again. Insight is going to give that intel to Kleenex. Long-time teammate, these two. The chemistry always on point.
Kleenex now spotted out. Insight helps out as well. All this gunfire gives away your position right now. There's no suppressors, there's no hiding. It's a straight-up fight here on Skid Row.
And I'm watching the motor mouth in the comms. They have the intel on Atlanta FaZe, looking to clutch this 2 versus 3. Checking all the corners. Draws a heads up on it, but again, it is just the information battle. Toronto right now ahead of the war.
Yeah, watching out though, FaZe. You're running out of time. 25 seconds on the clock and you lose the round. Trying to make something happen as Draza,
what a play.
The Alaskan assassin, lives up to the name.
Still though, 18 seconds on the clock. You're going to have to fly, collect that bomb, and look for 2. You are just running out of time.
Cellium managed to recover the bomb. Is he able to get the plant? I do believe he was spotted. Draws there to cover. Oh no! They line up! Scrap's got the damage dealt. Cell wins the fight, but it's not enough time. He's got to hunt down this one more player. Kleenex! A fraction of a second gives Ultra the round.
Yeah, that is wizardry out of Cellium. And props to Kleenex, too, for being ready for the gunfight and not trying to run away. Cellium won that first fight, but lost the round. Ultra, again, on point on defense. And it really is just a classic look, man. Insight from those back apartment windows. It takes so much effort and energy to go and hunt him down. That time was the biggest factor. 2-1 lead for Ultra.
That's how important time is. Whether you're buying time, whether you're burning time. You got to watch out how you spend it in these S&D rounds. aBeZy, long gone. We'll see him in the next round.
Yeah, that's the difference between a lightweight boost, by the way, and a covert sneaker. So mess with those timings. Devil in the details. Ultra, man advantage.
Certainly dressed for the occasion. Man advantage, Toronto. Certainly now with a big advantage. It's 4v2.
And no one shot him on the cross either, so you're expecting a little bit of clearance towards top mid. 4 versus 2, and you can take your time. You can get the bomb down. You can clear everything out. Simp and Draza, the players they are trying to hunt down. Simp now, last man standing in a 1 versus 4.
I mean, good luck. We've seen him do it before. 1v4 is very possible. With a bomb planted, though, this is going to change the focal point of Simp's attack. And that's just tough. Ultra spring to life after the post-plant position. The score's now 3-1.
We've seen him do them before, but Ultra is simply not that team. You have Toronto Ultra, by the way, currently on an 11 hardpoint win streak. So coming into it, Search and Destroy is FaZe's best opportunity for this series. But when they played Toronto Ultra earlier on, they got pieced up. It was a 6-1 win on Invasion, and right now Ultra doing the exact same. 3-1 lead, and the round's starting to look a little comfortable.
Well, those hard points, man, that's purple flames in ranked. Can they get extinguished here? Nades up from Envoy. That one's going way downtown, and no one's going to be entering through. Oh, it lands. There we go, the plat. The play's on. Envoy is not going to slow down. The stun check's going to hurt for a moment. Is it going to count for anything, though?
And if you push out of this, you are going to die. Tears in the wings, but he doesn't push. He just reads it. The trade is through for the 3 versus 3, but there's the wing kill. Inside gives the advantage of aBeZy, last man standing. Tagged up and assuredly gonna get hunted down.
Question now remains, though, for Ultra is where the hell did aBeZy go? Scrap, not leaving anything to chance. Holds the angle, the crossfire from apartments. Ultra simply watertight.
I mean, look, Skid Row is a small map, but you still have Ultra spreading as far as you possibly can. Insight making this at home, and there's a look at his line of sight, by the way. He can help with the plat fights. He can help with the P1 fights. He can see if you go top fire, the overseer on this map. And right now, he is 7-2. And that's off the back of the utter domination he brought to map number 1. Insight is on 1 in these grand finals.
Jamie Craven, MVP level player. I wonder who gets MVP at this event. We'll have to find out as this matchup continues onwards. Stun grenades blast the doors wide open. Kleenex there for the check.
And another play that Simp likes to make. He likes to chow through tunnel. Guess who's ready for it? Doesn't matter if you're ready, though. Gotta win the gunfight. Simp, first blood, advantage. Atlanta! Whoa! Can't knock it down, but you do force the team kill.
Boy, unfortunately, the team kill there, but Insight dives in to help out now, Simp. Oh, Oh, it's another from Insight, a masterclass. 5 in a row.
Easy read. Celium, you need this round. You cannot go down 5-1. Can you clutch for your team?
50 seconds. The bomb's going to get planted at A any moment now. Celium's just waiting for anything, any slither of information. And that's the info he's going to get.
And he's just looking to isolate a gunfight, but you see the corners up for Ultra. And Envoy just brings the beamer. Easy reads right now from Ultra. Every direction FaZe comes from, they are just sprinting into a pre-aim. Envoy, the timing is perfect. Abizi sliding down the stairs. Right now, Ultra, a little too fresh, a little too clean. It is 11-2 on round count on the day between these two teams in Search and Destroy. Toronto Ultra seemingly have their number.
Very, very good start in the Search and Destroy for them here in our grand finals. What are they going to do now on defense?
Well, I'd say the problem for Atlanta FaZe is what are they going to do on offense? Now if you go back alley, it's a triple stack. This could hurt.
Oh, nades. Trophies. Simp finds 2. Kleenex gets the other 2. So now it's a 2v2. All down to Kleenex now as Drazah and Abizi apply the pressure.
And Drazah was flying maybe to get a little bit of that intel, but Kleenex has completely disappeared. Last time they saw him bottom garage, he has already made his way up top, and that bomb yet collected. More information though. Then always out by the steps, and you see the play call. Grab that bomb, wrap all the way around over towards B. But if Kleenex can find these close gunfights,
oh my God,
that Rival 9 could be devastating.
I think he was spotted. If he managed to do this quietly, yeah, the bomb's long gone.
And that is respect, by the way, to not even deal with them, to just rotate back over towards that A site. So respecting Kleenex, playing with the information, Atlanta FaZe cannot afford to make a mistake.
Kleenex may only be a step or 2 behind, but now it will feel like a league. He has to make 2 kills and get the defuse. Here we go. Through the motor hole. Perfect stun connects. There's 1. Tags. The dance. Abizi. With nerves of steel. Keeps FaZe alive in the search.
That would have been a dagger if Kleenex is able to connect, but Abizi, no stranger to the 1v1s. As good as it looked for Kleenex, you see that is why they are paying respects to their opponent, not playing any games. You gotta make sure you stay on point. A long way to go though. Still down 5-2 is Atlanta. And props to them. They were ready for that back alley square up. A lot of guns aiming down that alley.
Guns and trophies, you name it, they were very, very prepared for the fight. Ultra fast moves now through the window. Easy right there for it. Drazah helps out with the fight. There is Kleenex immediately on the trades. Back and forth we go, 3v3.
This is an aggressive spot too. I don't know if you read the angle. Insight trying to run for his life, but he just got the kill and got out. Get a pure reset on the 2v2.
Insight is the untradeable. As soon as he gets that kill, he's gone. It's still a 2v2. The bomb is down on the other side of the map. Ultra are going to be able to collect this one. Drazah now just combing the apartments, looking for anything.
Yeah, it's the 2 ARs right now of Ultra just looking to get some information. It is a straight up MCW battle all over this map. Plenty of time still to work with too. Atlanta FaZe, you can see again, trying to play mistake free. They are flying together.
Scrap has the long line of sight. He's on the other end of the corridor now from Celium.
And the only thing Atlanta FaZe cannot see is if you go for the deep crossover towards the B site. But anywhere else you go, you are going to get spotted. You hear the shots coming down through the alley. And you got number 5, Drazah, playing off the information, but he plays into death. Scrap ready for it. Last man standing, Celium, a 1 versus 2 required.
Here's the fight. Scrap! Big tags. Bomb planted now. Celium in an absolute 1v1. Insight right back on the same spot! Celium, read like a book. A devastating scoreline in the Search and Destroy. Ultra take the lead 2-0 here in the grand finals.
That is now 12-3 in round count in Search and Destroy in favor of Ultra against FaZe on the day. They have been obliterating them. They can seemingly do no wrong. I honestly thought Kleenex was going to get that 1v2, but that is one of the few rounds Atlanta FaZe really pushed him Insight again. Not only did he just drop double digits, not only is he still the MVP of these first 2 maps, he also won both of his ones, dealing with both of the ARs of Atlanta FaZe. Insight right now at his finest form.
7 non-traded as well. He managed to escape.
And the most insane thing about this, by the way, that was 6 first bloods for Atlanta. They got 3v4'd on cooldown. Toronto Ultra, again, they do little things right. They do the easy things even better. They are looking fierce on the main stage.
Well, Toronto Ultra making a very, very strong case for the finest team in the world right now here in Major 1. But we're not finished yet. We now play Control. Invasion will be the map of choice here in our grand final. Chance, we've still got a little ways to go. It's first to 4 here in our grand final, and they're halfway, let's face it, and it's looking pretty convincing. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are playing Control. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go too far. For you in the venue, run to the toilet, get a beverage, maybe something to eat. We'll see you right back here after this.
The Painted Alebrije bundle is available now in the Call of Duty store. Inspired by the folk art of Oaxaca, this stunning bundle offers colorful, vibrant, and mythical items you gotta check out.
The Call of Duty Week is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL. Qualifiers all coming down to this week.
The boys from the south, Atlanta FaZe! Make some noise for Toronto
Beasy is cutting you down. That's a a lightning fast offense.
The way that they are winning, they are steamrolling teams. They don't have a weakness. They've been top 3 in almost every metric in the league.
Get to the grand finals. Ultra. Spreading its 5 in a row for Draza. Down at Palace. FaZe will move on for the rematch.
And here we go, folks. Map number 3. We are moments away from getting straight into this one. Welcome back to the Call of Duty League Major 1 Finals here in Boston. We've got Toronto Ultra taking on Atlanta FaZe. So far, all good for the guys in purple.
Oh, absolutely fantastic for the guys in purple. Good news for Atlanta FaZe, though. They did play this series earlier. We're going to the only map where Atlanta FaZe actually got a win. Invasion Control is what we have before us. And, I mean, these two teams, I know we talk about defense on this map. These are the best in the world at actually winning those offensive rounds as well. So lethal threats on both sides of the table. It is going to be Ultra that start off on the attack first, and Atlanta FaZe need to cook up something special. Cannot let anything slip away, but Ultra just about their business, straight towards that B zone.
Here we go. The newcomers to the CDL Control is sort of the, I don't know, it's sort of the child of search and destroy and hardpoint. 2 zones to capture, a limited number of lives to do so, and we take turns attacking and defending.
Good eyes on Draza as well. Even better shots there from Scrap on point right now. But right now, Ultra just looking to buy an extra kill. Not getting completely slammed for the moment. Still able to get out of your spawn. But these are some delicate moments. If you get tucked towards the back, that could be a massive problem inside opening up the A street. But Ultra right now, very far away from touching either zone.
Reaching out. Trying to touch A. As B is still very much safe and sound right now. Many members of FaZe, whoa, Envoy picks up 2.
And when they played this map earlier, it was Envoy and CleanX on the attacking rounds that were absolute class. They were dominant, and they deliver you moments like that. And keep in mind, CleanX on the flip side might get shut down, but so many of those Atlanta FaZe arrows get dragged that direction that this B cap is looking nice and safe.
2 members there of Ultra touching B. With 35 seconds on the game clock, so if you're FaZe and you get in there now, you give yourself a fighting chance to stay alive in the defensive round. It was Simashi and Selim would get in there. The capture's nearly done, though.
Oh, that's some crazy timing, too. Selim actually managed to get out. So Selim wins a 1 on B, and actually it's the nade that gets the job done, and they catch Envoy.
Ooh.
That B zone yet to be captured. Atlanta FaZe is really applying the pressure on defense.
Keep CleanX away. Body block, throw stuns, whatever you got. Abizi's there for the kills. Gets 2. Ow. Insight now trying to keep the play going. 20 seconds remain in the round. Wins the fight. There we go. Ultra should be able to jump on this.
Yeah, big win at the end there by Envoy as well. That could have been spicy, but now we go back towards the standard B zone secure. You're happy about this round, or at least fine with it if you're Ultra. 1 minute and 10 to work with, and everybody grouped together. They're always on point with their pushes, looking to make something happen here.
Easy slowing down players. Damage is one thing. A minute now added to the game clock, and less than a minute to play with. Selim and the rest of FaZe find a corner, any corner, and stay in there until those players run by, holding that defensive line.
Yeah, there's about 97 different corners to check if you're working on the flank. And of course, when you're coming off spawn, Draza the guy on the bridge, the player you have to deal with. So Atlanta FaZe, everything covered around their base. Nice little map spread. Selim, though, throws away his life. So a little bit more pressure on the next players of Atlanta FaZe. Abizi, though, delivers, might get traded, but he still has so much presence on the map.
Nice teamwork out of Toronto. Lovely comms. They're making their way forward now. Sims in trouble. He managed to pull away 1. Peels CleanX now, leaves him as a pile of mush on the streets of Invasion.
In 22 seconds, Ultra, not even really time to group up. Number 1 and number 2, Scrap and Envoy gonna have to make something happen, and it looks like Atlanta FaZe having absolutely none of it. A very standard round so far of Invasion Control. 10 seconds, last-ditch effort, and absolutely nowhere to go. Both teams taking care of business.
That was the final opportunity there. Insight's last life. Not enough time to get near the point. FaZe take the first round.
And that is going to be the typical when it is juggernaut teams getting after it on this map. You heard Scrap talk about it in the interview after the series. They gave away that 1 extra tick on A. That is what decides the game on Invasion Control with teams like this. You have to make sure on defense you don't give anything away. So solid stuff there by Atlanta. Now their turn to attack. see if they can string together something special.
So far, the only thing certainly being strung together is Celium's kills. 3 in a row now. If you can get to 6, that crew's going to be very handy. Both of these zones relatively open. Here we go.
And they're looking for a potential A hit as well. A couple players at least toying with the idea of Easy going to pierce straight down through B-Dom. You're looking to get the kills, and if you get a nice little wipe, they're going to haul ass over towards Showers. That's the first kill under their belt, but still not a lot of action. They're almost playing this like a round of S&D, trying to hunt these players down, but that's the next 3 in line. A 1v1 gunfight down this A street, and that A zone might be open.
I think Celium just walked by. He did. Celium snuck by, and now he's capturing A alone. The B capture now working out also. 1 segment done. What a situation to be in right now for FaZe. Draza, while airborne, catches out 1. Celium from the zone. Damage is there. Massive work done.
Yeah, not quite able to get that tick though. That could have been the difference maker in the game, but no cigar in that moment. Now Sim still applying the pressure. He is electric on offense, but he gets shut down, and we have to go back to the standard push. Slow working that B zone. Insight maybe working the flank. Ultra grouping up together for this hit.
Ultra grouped up. Ugh. Scrap's going to put Draza very much down. Down but not out. We're nearly completed the work here at B. Once again, that's another minute to play with. That's 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Here in the round, with both teams sitting at very healthy amounts of lives. 23 apiece. There we go. Now we attack A.
Yeah, and Ultra, they weren't looking to actually stop that zone because Atlanta FaZe didn't give them anything to bite on, so they're just keeping that positioning up towards the middle of the map right now, containing Atlanta FaZe, funneling through the B street, and we talked about it, 97 different corners you have to check. Atlanta FaZe, not easy to make something happen, but for Draza, that's a nice start.
Yeah, good thing for Draza. The first corner he checks as a player, and it's him now from upstairs. Causing nothing but problems for these members of Toronto trying to leave their spawn. Sim's got a little parting gift for them before they get into the fight.
Yeah, but his team's so far away coming off spawn from Palace, so just tries to be annoying, see how much attention he can drag. 2 players effectively looking for Sim. The other 2 players right now of Ultra, though, towards the middle of the map are looking for everybody else. Sim gets dealt with, nobody in your spawn, no flanks coming through, all guns forward.
FaZe know, though, if they find those kills, they've got a set amount of time to get towards that zone before any of the defenders will respawn and even be able to contest with it. So for now, Ultra, slow things down, smooth out that defensive line across A.
And again, all these picks you're looking for. Envoy so annoying. Any extra kill that Ultra gets, you see it's just going to drag MC back this direction. Does trade out the kill and get some tags on Scrap and Insight. Insight does get traded out. A 2v2 right now near the zone, but every kill Ultra deliver. Just as Atlanta FaZe so far. Back in the trade, always with Ultra. Going to come through.
Very much so. So close to the spawn of Toronto Ultra. So you get the kills in those positions. They're basically right next to you in a few seconds. Can they get themselves on towards A, though? FaZe are still pounding their way through these defensive holes. But the teamwork has made it so difficult.
Yeah, that's such a good nade as well. It gives you that little entry moment. CleanX might just be that next player in line. Atlanta FaZe, this is it for the pressure.
Here we go. 1 with the kills and you're in. There's 2. Envoy now holding it down. He finds a pair of his own. No damage dealt. They get on the zone. Scrap. Can he find these kills? He's on the flank. Scrap gets the pair. What a masterclass.
2 HP and a dream in the pistol to make sure nothing happens. Last ditch effort now from Draza, but seemingly no way. Oh. Guns hot in a moment like that is the type that goes such a long way. Ultra strong on defense. And all tied up on the objective front.
Quick look at this final kill. Sim was so hit, damaged up, moving out of his spawn. Invasion's a big map. We've seen some different looks here on defense. There's a lot of different places where you can play from to keep those players away, especially from the A zone.
And now from Ultra, we might see a different look on offense. Doesn't happen often, but a lot of A hits could potentially come through. Ultra, you see in the comms, it's the decision making. What do we want to go for? Maybe back to what we saw round number 1. It was actually 3 players last time that were working in the middle of the map. This time it is full speed ahead right towards B.
Could not be more opposite to the exact setup we've just seen. FaZe, 3 of them go to A. Ultra, 3 of them go to B. There's the capture.
And what this is going to do from Ultra, because of read like that, it is just going to be Insight slowly capturing this B zone. It takes 45 seconds to get it with just 1 man. That is 45 seconds of freedom for everyone else on Ultra. Slap to get the kills. Scrap's going to give you 3 so far in the round, and now you're really putting the pressure on Atlanta FaZe, trying to work back out of their spawn. Scrap right now, he's on one.
Wonderfully disciplined play here from Scrap. He runs his mouth, but he runs the game just as well. B zone gone. 5 5 in a row now for Scrap.
Oh, he's getting hot too. You can see it in the player cams. He is chirping. He is screaming death.
I wish we could listen into that. We managed to get a couple of kills. Pressure now certainly on. Ultra with a life lead. Ultra now with a lot of presence across the map.
Yeah, you're feeling the heat when Scrap's getting the hot hand. Trade though rolling through. Talk about that 1v1 gunfight. Simp wins. The headshot multiplier paying dividends.
The rest of the team, everybody's pretty calm, pretty chill in the approach towards that A zone. A lot of explosions in the background. Scrap, certainly the most animated member of Toronto Ultra right now in the feed, as well as the kills department. Through the back alley, he fights. He's claimed 2 more players, makes it 3. He has torn FaZe to pieces.
Oh, he's still going. They're going to get here too. Tries the last one on the point. He is gone. 2 bodies on the point. If you get 1 tick, you're feeling great, but Ultra, they might just take more.
Here we go. Inside, trying to slow down the attackers. FaZe scrambling to get into the zone. They dip a toe. Trophies to work in overtime. Kleenex finds his. Can't get the second. Draza's in there. Insight loses it once again as Draza saves the day.
I mean, Envoy, though, still keeping this pressure up. Everybody was near that zone for Atlanta FaZe, getting tagged up, but Envoy can't quite gun him down. Sully in the bailout gives you 2, but again, that is a successful moment for Toronto. They got an extra segment, and they still have a minute and a half on the clock. Ultra, keep that pressure on.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to have. You know, you build up that lead in the kills department, you find those segments, you look towards that final round. But we're not over yet. A minute 15 still to go here. And Celium, it's armed robbery here in the story. He's taking care of business, and that's his 4th kill in a row, looking for streaks.
Yeah, that main AR going on some flanks. Celium, though, does eventually get taken down. It is still going to be that B Street funnel. Kleenex, the most aggressive player, does have insight. And Envoy right near him. Scrap finding another kill. Kleenex, though, can't win the gunny. The trade's coming through from the tears. Dang, get the stagnation on defense right now. Atlanta FaZe, they deliver.
Perfect work out FaZe. 45 seconds to go. They have to survive at least 1 more very solid push. But as we've seen on Invasion, these hits take time.
And that was a great decision by Celium. You actually had insight above him, shoots his gun. He hesitates for a second, but commits to the street kills, and he gives you 2. Right now, though, you see the swarm. You got insight maybe looking from above, and everyone else from Ultra, they're setting up once again. Made it through A Street, made it through A and they got the entry kill.
Celium on the cross. He's let them in. They've managed to start the capture. They've stopped the clock at 22. Celium now trying to fight his way forward. Envoy should find the kill. You've got to get in there. Final 4 lives for FaZe. Envoy still holding him at bay. The capture there. Abizi gets in. He finds 2. Abizi somehow finds 2.
But it's down to 3 on the defense, and there's only 14 seconds. Ultra, if you hightail it, you might just be able to slay. Can someone make it here in 10 seconds?
Hold your breath. Count to 3. Celium, there's 1. The second. Slams inside. Guns are there. The last man. The clock. It's done. FaZe somehow pull out a win there.
I mean, that is ungodly. That is one of the closest rounds of control we have had this year. And again, Celium, that is 2 different moments where if he doesn't react in the exact fashion that he does, Atlanta FaZe lose this round. Celium having some amazing moments. But that is just to save the game. Here's another look at an Abizi 2-piece that we got earlier in this round. And you got a lot of little things going right for Atlanta. That is still a good round from Ultra. Keep in mind, on the objective front, they are way ahead. So you save yourself potentially in this game, but on the attack, you still have to deliver.
Well, FaZe are on map point now. If they can attack these rounds successfully and capture both A and B, or whittle down the lives of Ultra,